Welcome to Pearlmania500, the husband and wife lore podcast, where one of them does deep analytical research on a topic.
Important topics.
Then they wait until Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
They take that partner, that husband, that wife, they walk them into a spare bedroom, not the main bedroom, the spare bedroom, where there's a set of microphones. They sit down for those microphones, and then they reach out and grab each other by the hands. Then they pin each other up against the wall.
Wait, what?
And they start pushing that lore and that knowledge that they've deeply researched right into each other's brains to the point where they have to deal with it. And then, for some reason, thousands of people listen to this.
I don't... What is happening?
What's happening is I just spent the last 2 weeks reading a 400-page horny fairy book.
Yeah.
And this is officially the Court of Thorns and Roses Mr. Pearlmania book report.
There's a place where you can't stay when the world gets too insane. Yeah, when the world gets too inane, tune in to Pearlmania. Brony talks and pony jars and saying a sonic race just. Fitness scams and grifters, damn, and various other miscellaneous. So there's this place where you can stay to let those Pearlmans save ya. Pearlmania, Pearlmania, Pearlmania 500. Take it away, Pearlmans, and remember to smile.
Thank you so much to His Name Was Dusk for our theme song, like always.
Yeah.
And we want to go ahead and start out this episode with our usual announcements.
Okay.
First thing,
I baked a cheesecake.
You baked a cheesecake?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you've been doing downstairs? We've been finishing
No, I
my
did
notes?
that yesterday. I just had a slice of it earlier.
Oh, well, I get to hit this button today.
What is
I'm
it?
really excited about it.
And that's
That does not correlate to the pumpkin cheesecake I made.
I already had my finger on the button, though, and you interrupted me. So,
I thought we were talking about what we were doing.
what we're doing is this podcast.
Yeah.
And we are going to be doing this podcast for just a couple more weeks before we go on our paternity, maternity, family leave.
Whatever you want to call it.
Whatever we want to call it. So we've been discussing it. We were looking into the timing and everything else and how you've been feeling and what we have time for and what's available to us. And for the listeners out there, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
I know that you're here to hear a horny fairy book. Probably you can jump right to probably the 10-minute mark if you want to get right into the book. But just for this intro, we just want to let people know that we will be doing 2 more episodes for 2024, and then we'll be taking a break because our child will be entering this earth.
A holiday season, too.
There's a holiday season in there.
Those 3 weeks are going to be cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy for us, but also we know that for a lot of people, they're going to be busy and doing other things.
Yeah.
So during that time for 2024, our last episode of the year will be December 3rd. Will be a Sunday. We will drop that episode. So we have a Mrs. P research episode coming up.
Yep.
We'll have a Mr. P research episode coming up.
Yep.
We're going to take off December. And then early January, first week of January, we are going to return. We have already recorded a bunch of episodes for y'all.
Yep.
With special guests. With a lot of surprises.
Oh, my God.
Some of them are incredible. The first one of the canned episodes that come back in January will be His Name Was Dusk.
Yep.
Telling us all about Salvador Dali.
Oh, yeah.
We have some other episodes on there. One of our first ever 2-parters are on there. They're not like really a 2-parter, but they like play into each other in this really cool way. My mom appears. That's
right.
lot.
That's right. We brought in Mama Pearlmania. I don't know how to say that. Magistra. That's right.
Yeah, because she was a Latin teacher.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. That will be in probably...
It was an incredible episode.
That will probably be in February, where you can hear my mother and my wife just dump all over me for like 2 hours. Yeah. We are looking into changes that will come for season 2. Whether, what the timing of everything will be like, what everything else will be sound like. So we want to thank everybody for all the Patrons who've been through with us so far. While we are off, we will still be uploading some content to Patreon. Mm-hmm. We are going to try to keep you guys engaged and keep you getting that bang for your buck. With that, we do want to thank our Patreons because we do that every episode for our new listeners. And that just means giving out some quick shout outs to our Hey Huns, our team leaders, and our feds.
Hey, Hun, let's meet our team leader.
I only begrudgingly say hey to the feds.
Well, we don't have any feds this week. The feds is the $30 tier. They get absolutely nothing extra, but every time somebody does it...
You just legally have to let us know if you're a fed.
That's basically
what it is.
That's basically it. And you know what? Honestly, I think I'm going to talk to you about something after this that I think is perfect for just a Patreon. All right, so we have 7 this week.
Okay.
Up first, we have biromantic, asexual, Marimard scientist.
Is that supposed to be mermaid?
I think so, but they wrote Marimard.
Oh, man.
I'm looking at it. It says Marimard.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Hey, hon.
That is exactly what it is. I love that they went that far back. We had a meeting recently with somebody who was talking about our podcast, and they're like, why is there a mermaid on it? And I was like...
Listen, you gotta...
Honestly, it's
book
deep
club,
lore.
You got to go back. You got to understand that the mermaids were actually mermen. Okay?
Yep. After that, we have Eagles _don't_sound_like_that.
Whoa. Wait, is that because of our high-pitched eagle yelling?
Basically. After that, we have Chris 10 for eh.
For eh.
For
hey,
eh. That's how it's spelled out.
Hey, hon.
After that, we have Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
After that, we have Ben Affleck's back tattoo.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
man.
You dropped that on all of us last week.
Well, I'm glad that I was able to open some people's eyes to the majestic art piece that Ben Affleck carries around every day.
For those of you guys that didn't listen to last week, we did an episode of updates on 5 different topics. Somehow Ben Affleck's horrifying back tattoo showed up and really took us off the rails. After that, we have Veronica.
Hey, hon.
And finally, we have Tushy.com is porn. I just want a clean butt.
Wait, I thought Tushy.com is where I bought your bidet.
No, that is not where you bought it. You bought it from a company called Tushy, but it definitely is not from... Tushy.com is an anal porn website.
Oh, no.
That only focuses on anal porn.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I looked it up. The Tushy bidet that I got you for Christmas is from hellotushy.com.
Yes.
So do not go to Tushy.com unless you want to.
Yeah.
But for the bidets, that's a different website.
Yeah, Tushy.com. We don't have a sponsorship with them, but I think around Black Friday, they usually have a deal that ties in Tushy.com, Vixen.com, Black.com, Blacked Raw, and a few other websites.
I don't know. Why are you telling people this?
Well, because maybe people need to know, and then get 20% off if they use the promo code.
You wish.
I know. I really do wish. There's so many promo codes I want to be able to say into this microphone, but we don't have.
Yeah.
But
meanwhile, I'm like, the bidet one would be a good one, honestly.
I would love that. But let's just say one more time.
Hey, let's meet our team leaders.
So here we are. We are 500 plus Patreons deep. We hit our stretch goal. Mm-hmm. They nominated. They voted. Mm-hmm. I did it. I read it.
Yep.
I sat down with this book in my hands.
Yeah.
You screamed at me for days to finish it.
I was wondering if you're going to be honest about that.
No, I am going to be completely honest before we begin. My ADD brain will not let me do a book report with time to spare. No. I finished this book last night at 2:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. I then woke up, and instead of writing notes, I immediately went and met a friend of mine and walked through Longwood Gardens with his children.
Yep.
And then I came home and started writing notes. Mm-hmm. I promised myself that this episode will be posted by 8 p.m. this evening. It is currently 5:23.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I knew this.
I knew
this was going to happen, which is why last week I announced on the podcast that he was going to do it this week, because I knew that if I said it into the microphone and it was recorded, he couldn't procrastinate any harder.
Yeah. And I will say this about the book before we begin. I bought this book at Barnes & Noble, mm-hmm. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Mm-hmm. Maas, M-A-A-S. It is a quality paperback. Okay. So that means it's a wider book, and it also has like actually I'd say a larger font to it.
Yeah.
And that actually made me realize, because this book's about 400 and some pages, so 416 pages.
Okay.
It was like every hour I'd look down and realize, I just read like 75 pages in like an hour. I was describing it to my friend while we were taking our walk, and I was like, if this was Jurassic Park, if this was the same way Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park, that type of airport fiction when you go by and it's like that smaller classic book.
Yeah.
This would be like 150 to 200 pages long.
Yeah.
So this is just the way it's written. It's a very easy read. If you are out there and you're looking just for easy reads, this book actually is a very easy read.
Yeah.
And I did find it very good to be able to get through it. Beyond that, we are going to go ahead.
I love an airport book. That's just the thing. I love. I probably wouldn't pick this book for an airport book.
No.
I think the last airport book I bought at the airport was American Gods.
Gotcha.
Which I was just like,
I love that book.
Yeah, I've read it before, but I saw it and I was like, I want to read it again.
Yeah, American Gods would have taken me longer. But with that, we are going to take our first quick page turn.
Oh, page turn.
For my book report. And when we come back, you guys will hear all about this horny fairy book.
Pearlmania, 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 Pearlmania 500.
Okay, so before we begin,
yeah,
I do want to say to all the Patreons, for everyone who nominated and voted for this book, go fuck yourself forever.
No way.
Go fuck yourself.
No, because I'm part of that. I looked at the list of recommendations and I was like, bet.
Fuck yourself forever.
I'm in.
So the book begins. It's a medieval-ish, not really medieval. I thought this book had this weird thing where I guess the best way of putting it of how it would picture the world.
Wait, you have to, for book clubs, you have to let everybody know that you're gonna ruin the book.
Oh yeah, I'm spoiling this whole book.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil the book.
This is more spoilery than it is review, but I will also be reviewing this book. Okay. Okay, you usually like just tell me the story.
You're usually the reviewer, so I get to review the book from your spoils.
No, fuck this book. The first part of this book is I pictured this in the world of Disney's, like, was it 1990 Beauty and the Beast?
Okay, like
that sort of world of like Belle and all those different Gaston. Like that's the type of like way I picture how everyone's dressing. A combination of that and then like the Regency era Jane Austen shit.
Okay.
That's kind of how I pictured it. That being said, when I saw earlier versions of this book that did not have this cover with the wolf on it, the earlier ones, it's much more like BDSM, weird, like sharp pointed corners, and it caught me off guard. We'll get into that. So the book starts in the woods.
All right.
It's in the woods, and our main character it's everything's through, it's a first person perspective. Everything's through their eyes.
Okay.
We don't know if this is a man. We don't know if this is a woman. We don't know anything about this person besides that they're a hunter.
Oh.
This person is a hunter.
Got it.
And they're starving.
Oh.
And they need to eat, and it's cold, and there's snow, and like their fingernails are like broken because of like how cold everything is, and they have a bow, and they only have 3 arrows.
Oh.
And they make this big deal about the arrows. They have 2 regular arrows, and they have a 3rd arrow that is made of iron and ash wood.
Ooh.
And as they're describing like everything that's going on, like they live at home with their dad, who he has a bad leg, so he can't hunt, and he's like worthless. They
call the dad worthless?
Trust me, we'll get into it. And then there's the 2 older sisters who also are worthless.
Oh my God.
And it's just like nobody helps this person. They have to do everything. What's that thing with families where
you're describing a woman?
Okay. What's that thing with people who have like alcoholic parents where they have to become adults sooner? Parentification. This person has been parentified.
Yeah.
Like hardcore. And like they're kind of describing that as they're on this hunt, and like they've run out of food in their cabin, and they need to get something. They're looking for rabbits, a doe, a deer, a female deer, raised, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so they're looking and they find a doe.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, "Oh my God." And they've gone deeper into the forest than they usually do.
Okay.
And it's like scary. It's like real scary.
Moody.
And they find a doe, and they're like about to shoot the doe, and that's when it's like that moment in Jurassic Park, like clever girl.
Oh.
there's this massive wolf.
Oh.
Huge wolf.
Okay.
And the wolf is like going to go after the doe, and like the hunter doesn't know if the wolf has seen them. And there's like this whole thing, and the hunter ends up shooting the wolf after the wolf kills the doe.
Oh, 2 for 1.
2 for 1, exactly.
Yeah.
And that is the cover of the book, this version here.
Oh.
And so if you guys go online, or if you go to either a library or Barnes & Noble or any of those type of places, most of the ones you'll see, it actually doesn't look like a wolf at first.
No, it kind of looks like a Chinese lion or something like that.
Yeah,
or dragon.
Yeah, it has that kind of look to it, but that's the wolf and that's the arrow. And it wasn't until like later when I closed it, like halfway through the book, I was like, oh shit, that's the wolf. For listeners who know the Zelda trilogy, like, you know, like especially the more recent ones, the Tears of the Kingdom, this is the same Breath of the Wild. This is the same sort of artwork that they draw things in that.
Oh.
So this is very Nintendo Switch coded.
Oh, okay.
So like that's what's like wild. So it's like that plus like some Asian influence, like artistic work.
Yeah,
on there.
like the girl with the back tattoo.
The girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that vibe
Yeah.
reminds
The
me
girl
of.
with the Ben Affleck bat tattoo.
Whoa.
So she kills the wolf. Mm-hmm. The doe was already dead.
Yeah.
And she's like looking at him. She's like, all right, I'm going to skin the wolf.
Okay.
So she skins the wolf because I'll take the pelt and I'll sell it at the market.
Oh, all right.
And she's like, and then she skins the doe and takes their pelt. And then she's like, I'm going to carry the doe back and then I'll have to clean it. And they carry the doe all the way back to the cabin where their worthless 2 sisters and worthless dad are.
Yeah.
And this is from their perspective. Like, fuck these people. They do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, they show up, and this is when we start to get introduced to the characters.
Okay.
So there's the dad.
Okay.
He's lame in one leg. Mm-hmm. And it is later explained that the reason they live in this little cabin is his fault.
Okay.
So the dad was a merchant.
All right.
And they were from a high-end merchant family. And he made some risky bets.
Oh.
And he had some creditors. And this family went from like upper middle class, like, you know, buying silks for the lords and ladies and all that shit, to now living in like a literal shack.
Okay, so this is the premise to the TV show Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
Okay,
this is 100% Schitt's Creek. Yes. Yes. Picture that.
Got it.
Okay.
The roses.
And the dad, the way I pictured him like kind of chubby. I kind of pictured him in like that weird sort of in Moulin Rouge. Mm-hmm. You know the one guy who's like in charge of Moulin Rouge?
Yeah.
With like the mustache and everything.
With the red hair.
Yeah, that's how I kind of pictured him, but then with like a bad leg. And like the whole time the main character's like, he just keeps trying to like whittle shit and sell that. He could go get a real job. He can read. And like they make it very clear that like the older 2 sisters, whose names are Nesta and Elaine.
Okay.
They still think they're going to go back to being rich. Mm-hmm. And like the main character, who we are finally told's name is Feyre, spelled Feyre.
Like fairy?
Feyre.
But
they
like...
make a big deal in it to even pronounce it for you.
Okay.
Feyre. I kept reading it, by the way, because I missed the pronunciation and I had to go look it up. It's like, how'd you miss it? It says it at one point. It looks like fire or fair.
Yeah.
Because it's Feyre. And when I'm looking at it, I was like, but they're like, no, it's Feyre. So you're gonna hear me saying it real dumb because I think this is a stupid name.
Okay.
So Feyre is the youngest sister.
Yeah.
Feyre did not experience the wealth the way the other ones did. Mm-hmm. Their mother died.
Okay.
Of something. I think just general, we don't have medicine.
Yeah. Okay.
Type of deal. Like, I don't know. What's like one of the...
Well, no, she died because they had to be poor.
Well, it's
and that was
part
like
of that.
Never. Ugh.
That is kind of part of it, but it feels more like one of those things. Like, again, in like a Jane Austen book or even like an old Western, like mom coughed and there was blood in the handkerchief and now 6 months later she's dead. But they make a big deal about the fact that Feyre's mom asked Feyre to protect and make a promise.
Of course.
That she would protect their worthless dad and 2 sisters.
Oh, that's the most fucked up shit, dude.
And Feyre makes a big deal about how in their world, a promise is forever.
Emotional blackmail.
It's forever. You can't break a promise.
You should break a promise.
Promises are magic.
Oh, my God.
Especially among family.
Oh, God. This sounds toxic as fuck.
So this is the world. And
Yeah.
this is their life. And like, so when Feyre returns and like has the pelts, and this was very you-coded. by the way.
Okay.
Because, like, she walks in the door. But they're all blonde, by the way, as well.
Okay.
They later make the point. In my head, I kept reading them as redheads because this felt a lot like that movie Brave.
Okay.
Because it's like the red-haired girl with the bow. Like, that's how I kept reading. But really, she's blonde. She's like, they even like a sandy blonde is how they describe the whole family.
All right.
She walks in with like the dough over her shoulder, like throws it on the table. And they're like, where'd you get that? She's like, where do you think? And I was like, that's Mrs. P.
That's a stupid question. I hate stupid questions.
Oh, I went to the dead dough store, you idiot. And then like, are you going to clean it? And she's like, what do you think? What, are you going to do it? And then she notices there's no firewood. And she like turns to her eldest sister, Nesta. And she's like, I told you to cut firewood. And
you had one fucking job.
That's literally what she said. She's like, all you had to do was cut fucking firewood.
Oh, yeah.
And like Nesta gives her some shit. And then like some other conversation happens where they start throwing back and forth like how like Feyre has been fucking some guy in the village.
Whoa.
And like, but Feyre like makes
when does she have time?
She makes a very big deal that it's not serious.
Oh,
it's
okay.
just a guy that she's using for sex. Like she implies, she's like,
independent woman, love
yeah,
it.
no, she's like, yeah, no, he's about to get married, whatever. And then Nesta is like, well, I'm going to marry this dude, Thomas. Oh. And then Feyre's like, why would you marry Thomas? He's the woodcutter's son. You don't even fucking cut wood. Do not spit into the microphone. You shouldn't have taken that sip when you did.
I didn't know. I was going to make a comment about with all these names, and then you got to throw a Thomas in there. You know how I hate when they put a normal name
Well,
in.
Isaac, the guy's name, they literally say his name is Isaac Hale.
Why are you going to marry the woodcutter? Honestly, but okay, the sister's thinking, because if you don't want to cut wood, you marry the woodcutter.
But Feyre makes the real big point, which is basically like, you don't do shit and we don't have money, and this is a world where you have to have a dowry.
Yeah.
So like, he's not, and also like, he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
So like, Feyre's like, fuck you, whatever. So the next day, they go to the market.
Okay.
And when they go to
selling pelts.
They're selling the pelts, and they want to get some cash for that, and like all the rest of the meat they're going to use for venison. They'll make some jerky. Like they have plans for that.
What they do with the wolf meat? They just abandon it out there?
They left the wolf meat. Because there's no real wolf meat isn't good. It's like gamey.
Yeah.
The pelt was really the most important part of the wolf. So they go to the market. On their way in, they find these people. I didn't write down what the name of them are, but they basically find these cultists are like outside the market.
Oh, okay.
And they feel very Scientology coded.
Yeah.
Because the one thing about this world is that the world has been cut in half.
All right.
The southern half of the world is populated by humans.
Okay.
And they're just humans living in that sort of Beauty and the Beast era. I want to say like late 1600s. Let's just say late 1600s type of world where there is like some science and stuff like that, but like barely. Magic is everywhere.
Perfect.
But that's fairy stuff because the south half of the world, human. The north half of the world is owned completely by the fairies.
Okay.
And at one point, it wasn't this way.
Oh.
There was a war 500 years ago.
Okay.
And a treaty was reached. And all of the fairies kept all of the land north of the wall, which is the equator. Okay. And the humans took all of the land south of the wall.
All right.
And so they live on an island that is cut in half. And I'm going to pull up the map because the map is in the book.
Okay, we got the map in the book.
I'm looking for it right here. Okay, so here it is. So she lives in the mortal lands, which is the south, and the north is the fairy realm. Okay. And then there is the fairy realm is broken up. There's a continent, okay, which they don't tell you anything more about. This is because it's the first book of like 7. The fairy realms of the continent. And then the island, the north half, is called Prythian.
Okay.
That's where all the elves live.
All right.
Okay. Now I want you to see something here real quick. Look at this map.
Okay.
What does this map look like to you?
That looks like a map of, some could say Ireland.
Yeah.
You could say the United Kingdom.
Yep. This is Great Britain. This is straight up just Great Britain.
It's Great Britain.
This is Great Britain.
And
they
Spain
have
is off to the side there.
That's France. I love your Catholic education's doing great. That's like France and a little bit of Belgium. No, straight up. When you look at the map, you can, for the listeners, go Google it. Google a Court of Thorn and Roses map, and it's straight up just. It just is Great Britain. Yeah. And there is an island to the side called Highburn that just is Ireland.
Yeah, that is
like
Ireland.
They didn't even try to change Ireland at all. Prythian itself looks like it just straight up is. You can see the courts, how they're laid out on it, all this different stuff. There's a wall. The wall is just like, her village is basically exactly where London is.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not great. So
where are the Welsh?
Trust me, we're going to get into it.
Oh, okay.
So they run into these cultists, and the cultists are humans in the mortal realm who were like, we got to worship the fairies. Like, things were better when we were with the fairies. And then, like, Feyre and like her sisters and everybody are like, yo, fuck you, dude. They held us. We were their slaves.
Yeah.
The fairies were slavers. They were immortal monsters who ate people and like did a bunch of horrible sex stuff. Like anything you can fucking, let me put it this way.
Yeah.
Anything the Belgians did, the fairies did.
Got it.
Okay. Anything the Dutch did.
Oh no.
The English. Okay. You feeling me here?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay. You ever been to Haiti?
Yo.
That's how they were treating fucking all of the people. And now you got these motherfuckers walking around in like these weird fucking robes, like these like silvery robes, like white robes. Like, no, we love the fairies. And they wear like silver. Because, like, silver apparently is supposed to attract fairies. Meanwhile, Feyre's sisters all wear iron. Because fairies, like I said before, ash and iron arrow, the iron bracelet is supposed to keep fairies away.
Yeah.
So they go into the market.
I love that the pseudo Jehovah's Witnesses that I'm picturing with pamphlets.
Yes.
That are like, fairies aren't that bad.
Yeah.
Give fairies a chance. We should worship the fairies. I'm sure they won't do it again this time.
Yeah, that's basically
incredible.
It's and it's also been told that it was 500 years since like the wall was put up and everything, and it's like a magic wall. It's like invisible. We'll get into that later. So then they go into the market, and Feyre like looks around like, that guy always rips me off that, and then she finds a mercenary.
All right.
And it's like, hey, weird mercenary lady, would you want to buy these pelts? And like they have a conversation about the fairies. And the mercenary like shows like her messed up leg. She's like, yeah, fairy did that to me. And it's very like Jaws coded of like, that's where I got this injury. And the mercenary also mentions to Feyre like, hey, you know, like the fairies have been some fairies have been crossing the wall.
What?
Like they've been like
sneaking over?
They've been sneaking over. Like people have been like, stuff is going on. People are missing, like all this different stuff, like right around the border. And Feyre's like, all right, good to know. And then the mercenary buys the pelts.
Okay, great.
Calls it a day.
Nice. Make a
They
sale.
go back to the cabin.
Perfect.
They're like back there. They're eating. It's like around dinner time. And all of a sudden, the door bursts open.
Okay.
And there's a giant werewolf monster.
Oh, shit.
Like goes from like zero of like, hey, we're at a market day. And she's like, bye, Isaac. Like,
I was about to be mad because I was going to ask you who cooked the dinner.
Yeah, well, you know how that goes.
Because I was like, I bet these 3 lazy pieces of shit didn't even cook the dinner.
They don't even know how to cook.
They can't cut the wood. They can't hunt the food.
The door bursts open, and it's a giant werewolf monster.
Okay.
And it's just screaming murderer.
Scadio.
And it's like, and the sisters are like, they're freaking out. The dad's like, you know what's happening now. And then Feyre like has a knife. Like instantly has a knife.
Okay, I like that.
Throws it at the monster.
Right, okay.
The monster knocks it down. It's like,
oh no.
You killed him. Who killed him? And they're like, we didn't kill anyone. And he's like, the wolf. And then Feyre's like,
oh shit, dude.
Fuck, you're a fairy and I killed a fairy.
Oh no.
The wolf wasn't a wolf. Because when they describe the wolf, it's like bigger than an average wolf and all this stuff. And in Feyre's head was like, the whole time was like, this could be a fairy. Or this could just be a big wolf. Like, I don't know.
Why would the fairy be a wolf?
Because they can shapeshift.
Okay. But, okay, so I'm a fairy.
Yeah.
I'm hunting in the woods.
Yeah.
I see a deer.
Yeah.
Why don't I just stay a fairy and kill the deer like Feyre did?
Yeah.
Why do I have to become a wolf to do it?
Because it's part of your, like, wolfy essence. And this, by the way, this book is horny elf Twilight.
Okay.
So they have to be able to shift. I don't know how it's important. I don't think you understand in the world of this type of book,
Twilight.
like shifting is like a thing.
Shape-shifting.
No, they call it shifting.
Oh.
And people who are shifters,
Animorphs.
they're more. This is a whole book. This is about fucking an animorph. This book is how do you fuck an animorph? Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the monster.
I was more of a Goosebumps kid. I read most of the Goosebumps. I didn't read the Animorphs.
You're about to get Anna Goosed, okay? So the monster's like, who killed? And Feyre's like, I did. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah, dude. What do I live for?
Yeah, what am I going to live for? I'm keeping up because
I got these 3 idiots on my back.
I have to admit it as well because of my promise. This will protect them.
Oh, God.
It's all about the promise that they made their mom.
This is so codependent.
It's
she needs to go to therapy.
So, she steps forward. She throws the knife at the monster. The monster just swats it aside.
Yeah.
And then the monster's like, I should kill you. And she's like, bet.
Do it. Please.
Basically.
Please.
And then it's like, or, because he says it's like the treaty allows me to kill you. Oh. And it's like, or you can come live in my lands for the rest of your life. And they're like, okay. I go live at the fairy lands.
Okay, you're describing Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
This is Beauty and the Beast.
This is 100% Beauty and the Beast. I'm glad you caught it this early. This is Beauty and the Beast.
A big monster is like, you can come live with me as my prisoner.
This is Twilight
because
Fairy
of her
Beauty
dad?
and the Beast.
Because shitty dad. Okay.
And shitty dad, so she goes with the monster, the big wolf monster. And like, she's like, he puts her on a horse and like, he's like trudging. And like the way I read him, for those of you who've ever played Skyrim, when you turn into a werewolf in Skyrim, that's kind of what this monster looks like. He's wolf-like, but he's walking on his hind legs, and he has like big long arms, and he's very hairy, and like all this different, he's big fur. And they go and they're like walking towards the wall, and like Feyre keeps trying to ask him questions, and he keeps like not answering them.
Yeah.
When she left, she gave instructions on like how for them to live with like what remind. She's like, you have enough venison for like 3 days. You have some fucking gold. Sell this thing over here. Like she gave directions the way you give me directions about like what's in the fridge.
Yeah.
You're like, no. I made baked ziti. It'll last you 3 days. Do not go to Popeyes every day. Okay? We have ziti. Like that's how she like explains it. And like the whole time as they're like riding off, she is thinking of like, how can I escape? How can I escape? Yeah. And he keeps like telling her, he's like, you made a promise and you will be murdered if you break the promise. You have to live at my lands. And then as they're getting closer to the wall.
Do we know why he wants her to live? Is she going to be like a servant? Like what's the reason?
He just says it's part of the treaty. He can choose. Either he gets to murder her or he can take her life debt and apply it however he wants. And he's applying it by saying, you have to live in my lands.
Okay.
So as they're riding there, she says something to him, and he goes, nah, and he does some magic at her. And she knows he does magic because you can smell magic.
Oh, okay.
It smells, she says it repeatedly throughout the book, it smells metallic.
Oh.
So kind of like, like when you have like a bloody nose.
No? Okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, he basically hits her with some meth.
Suddenly, there's a little magical. It smells a little methy in here.
So they, when that happens, she falls asleep.
Okay.
So she doesn't. So basically, he knocks her out.
Yeah.
On the back of a horse. When she comes to, it is now springtime.
Okay. We've changed weather pattern?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're on the horse.
Wait. How long are we on this horse?
She doesn't know.
Okay. If the time of year changes, if we're talking she was really cold and hungry and now it's spring.
It was like the height of winter. So it was like maybe like mid-January, mid-February.
And they're going north, which is usually getting colder.
Yeah.
Okay. This, again, I need to go back to that original fairy wolf that was hunting that same deer.
Yeah.
Why the fuck were you so far away from home?
That's a great point. It's a really great point.
Why the fuck was this person pretending to be a wolf hunting a little deer?
I have an answer for you, but it is frustratingly long from now.
Okay.
So now they've arrived. They are now in Prythian.
Oh, Prythian.
And Feyre learns that this is actually the spring court.
Oh, great.
And it's spring because it's a magical land.
Oh, they can change the weather.
They can change the weather.
So mine would be fall. I would just be in fall.
And as they enter,
Sweaters.
there's a giant manor. There's a beautiful giant manor. And I pictured this very Jane Austen.
Okay.
Very Sense and Sensibility. Beautiful manor on the side of rolling hills.
Yeah.
A lot of like orchids and pink cherry blossoms and like just a lot of pastels
and those
everything.
Purple flowers they hang from their windows that grow down that are actually like poisonous but really pretty.
And weeping willows and all that. Just think very, very every Keira Knightley movie from like 2006.
She really had a lock on those.
She had a lock on this.
She had a fucking lock.
We're talking about Regency. We're talking about if women are wearing something.
Bridgerton.
It's got whalebone titties mashed up.
Yeah, Bridgerton.
So anyway, so they get to the spring court.
Okay.
And when they arrive there, the monster shifts.
Oh, the guy, the fairy guy, wolf guy.
Yes.
Okay.
The fairy wolf guy shifts.
Okay.
And suddenly, he is a gorgeous tan man. And he's tan. She makes a big deal. This man is tan. Okay? He is tan in a way that she's never seen tan before.
Okay. All right.
Okay? Sun-kissed is used a lot. But he has a mask on. He has a gold mask with emeralds on it. He won't take, but he shifts immediately. Has his mask.
So she's saying he's handsome structurally in the body.
Body yada yada.
Yeah, body yada yada. But we don't know about that face.
We don't know anything about that face.
He's
wearing
a
mask.
face.
He's wearing a mask.
Okay.
Okay. And then they enter into the manor, and there's another man there. Again, he's also tall, and she recognizes immediately. These are high fae.
High fae.
High fae people are they're nobility.
Oh, okay.
Okay. By the way, so he's blonde.
Okay.
The first one.
Yeah.
The monster man. And then the other one who shows up, he has red hair.
Uh-oh.
And so the first one is a gold and emerald mask. It's not really anything in particular, but the red-haired high fae guy, he has a fox mask on.
Are they at a party?
He's clearly missing an eye. So he has a fake eye in the other one that is like magical. And he has a scar that runs down his face underneath the mask.
How do you see it?
Because it's like the mask is only covering, it's like a domino mask.
The Venetian kind. Where
Yes, one of those Venetian sex party masks.
Yeah.
Okay? Picture sex party mask. Listeners, does everyone have sex party masks in their head? This book is horny. Okay? Everything I described to you so far, we are done not being horny now.
Okay.
Okay? These are gorgeous men.
Yeah.
These men are gorgeous. From here on out, they will often be shirtless.
Why wear a shirt?
Why? It's spring.
When you're good looking, you don't need a shirt.
This man controls the weather.
Yeah.
Okay? But they're both wearing masks. Okay? They look at her. The one in the fox mask, at one point, he's like kind of catty.
Oh.
He's a little bitchy.
All right.
Okay? He gives off gay friend.
Okay.
All right? But he's like that concierge. He's like, I'm the emissary or whatever of the main guy. Who this is his this is his place. This is his manor. And so his name is Lucian.
Lucian?
Lucian.
Okay.
Lucien.
Okay, that's a bad bitch name.
That's a bad bitch name. And he has bad bitch tendencies.
Yeah.
He talks shit. He and the main guy lets go. Now, main guy is being described very wolf-like the whole time. He's very predator. His claws keep popping out every now and then. He'll get mad. Like, you'll see him. He'll be like gripping an armrest and like his claws tear into it. He has, sometimes when she say like he's always walking towards things like a predator. Because listen, we want to fuck this man.
Okay.
Okay?
I was
the
wondering.
werewolf man.
I was wondering.
From here on out, we are building that this man, we want him.
Yeah.
Okay? We're not going to do that immediately. It'll be 200 pages before that. But from here on out, that's the arc of the crescendo.
Yeah.
Okay? Lucian, though, little bitchy gay friend, he's to the side, and he's like, you need a bath. So they send her away, and that's where she meets Alice.
Okay, wait. When he sends her away for a bath.
Yes. Because she's dirty and poor.
A fancy guy named Lucian sends her away for a bath. Is this the beginning of what we would call a makeover montage?
Almost. It's the beginning of. It is the beginning of. It is.
I love a makeover montage.
It's more of. She meets Alice, Alice.
Oh, right.
Okay, remember in Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah,
remember
the teapot, right?
Yeah, that's Alice. Alice
Okay.
is the teapot, okay? Because she is a servant. Again, she's a fairy as well. Her mask is a bird.
Oh, right.
Okay, and she has a couple other servants that also wear bird
So
masks.
everybody wears masks all the time.
Everyone's wearing
masks.
masks
Just a party,
all the time.
like it's COVID.
Yeah, except it's just over their eyes. Their mouths are out.
Okay,
So it's reverse COVID.
got it.
If anything, it's January 6th.
Oh my god.
So Alice gives her a bath, and they're like, and they put out like a pretty dress for her, and Feyre's like, no, I don't wear dresses. I'm a hunter. And they're like, fuck you, here's some trousers. And she's like, thank you.
Okay.
So she dresses, wearing like, again, that sort of late 1600s, early 1700s, that dressing like Mr. Darcy type of deal. So she's wearing more like flowy shirts and trousers and then slacks and those type of things because she still wants to be able to ride. She doesn't trust anyone. They like offer her food and she's like, no, I heard. She keeps going back to all these like rumors she's heard about fairies.
Yeah.
Like if I eat your food, then I'm trapped here. And it's like, which is stupid.
You're already trapped there.
You're already trapped there. Like,
why be hungry?
Yeah. So they like give her food.
She should, I mean, come on. Somebody else is finally cooking.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody else is doing the
and
dishes.
it's like the best food she's ever had, by the way, when she finally eats it. And also, like, he can do magic. He like snaps his fingers and the food just goes away. Like,
oh my God.
Like, it's crazy, right? So it's wild. So time goes on. She starts to ride around with Lucian.
Oh, okay.
So she gets like a little closer with Lucian because he's like kind of a bitch. Mm-hmm. And they're bitching and being catty at each other. Yeah. And one time they're out riding together and like quote unquote hunting because she never actually shoots anything, but she calls it hunting because she just wants to keep up her senses,
Oh,
like
okay. Sure.
Lucian out of nowhere is like, do not turn your head. You're going to hear some crazy shit. Don't turn your head. And she's like, what? And she hears this like wild stuff. And I can't remember quite how it's described, but basically it's like this thing's like, look over here, look over here, look over here. And she does it. And they just like keep moving. And then they just ride right back to the manor. And Lucian's like, at this point, you now finally know that the wolf guy, his name I forgot to mention, his name is now Tamlin.
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 I'm afraid to Google it. How many babies born in the last 3 years do you think are named Tamlin right now?
I don't know.
Because it feels like a Mormon name, like Lynne at the end.
No, this is Tamlin.
But they would change it.
Yeah, Tamlin.
Tamlin, like I can picture
no, but
it.
See, no, I'm saying Tamlin.
Oh,
You're saying Tamlin.
Yeah.
Versus Tamlin.
Tamlin.
You're saying Tamlin. You hear the difference?
Yeah.
That YNNE is really popping on that one.
Yeah.
Tamlin.
So what were the voices?
So the voices were like it's actually a monster, and it's called the Bogue.
The Bogue?
The Bogue, Bogge. And like so Lucian tells Tamlin, and Tamlin's like, I'm on it.
Oh shit.
And he gets all like and he goes stomping off.
Okay.
And then later he shows back up and he's all fucked up, but he's like, I hunted the Bogue.
Oh.
And then now one of the things that keeps happening is Feyre is like really depressed because she's really worried about her family. Because again, she made a promise to her mom. Mm-hmm. And at one point it's late one evening and she looks outside and she sees her dad in the garden.
Okay.
And she goes running out to him because she's like, I can't believe he actually did that. He actually got the energy and like crossed the wall. Like he's never done anything. He's ever since they lost their fortune, he's been such a loser. Mm-hmm. And I can't believe it. So she goes running out to him where she's caught and like somebody's like, don't, that is not your dad. That is a monster called the Puka.
The Puka?
The Puka.
Do you recall the Puka? That was part of our conversation when we did the Halloween episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Celtic belief system in the Puka, which is a shape-shifting thing that would try to convince you to do silly things like jump off cliffs or into the rocky water.
Well, in this world, the Puka is the Puka. I just like saying it. The Puka. The Puka is a monster that will, it's like sometimes they say monster, but it's also like they're all kind of fairy.
Yeah, they're like a goblin thing.
Yeah, it's like a goblin fairy thing. The Puka in particular, though, will shift into what your biggest heart's desire. And her desire was to get back to her family, so it made itself look like her dad.
No. Her desire was to have a father that cared. That was the desire.
Yeah. So you're very honestly, yo, you have ripped this book apart. We're still very early in this book. I can't believe how long I'm taking. So I'm gonna just start speeding up a little bit. One thing you start to realize is that Feyre barely knows how to read, like is functionally illiterate.
Okay.
I would say she probably has either a first, maybe second grade.
So this is where we're deviating from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, so
because in Beauty and the Beast, she was big into reading.
Yeah, so she asked like, hey, can you open the? I need to read. Like, I need a place that I need to go, like all this different stuff. So she goes to, he takes her to the library.
Okay.
It's like, it's a study, but it's like this massive library.
Of course.
And then when they go in there, there's a massive painting. Like she spent some time in there. She like writes some notes and she's like teaching herself how to read. And she's writing down like the words she doesn't recognize.
Yeah.
So she writes down like 40 words and it's words like equivocate. Like it's like crazy.
Yeah.
But she discovers this like giant mural. And the mural explains like the history of the world.
Okay.
And so that's what explains like the breakdown of the courts. That shows her that she didn't know about the island that's called Highburn that is straight up just Ireland on the map.
Yeah.
She didn't know about that. And it like shows her, because they also keep saying like cauldron blessed or cauldron be damned, which is they're like, God be damned. Like the world was created by something from a cauldron.
Okay.
That's fairy belief. Humans don't have any gods because all of the human beliefs were in the fairies. So when they gave up the fairies, they gave up their gods.
Okay.
So she's like, this is like the creation of the world. And then that gets into like the war, when they finally had the war and like all these humans were slaughtered. And like that's like 500 years ago.
Yep.
Was the war. And it breaks up into the she's there in Prythian. And like there's these 7 kingdoms. And they have all the different kingdoms.
This is the opening of Game of Thrones, what you're describing 100%.
And you know what's funny, actually, about the map? I'm going to pull the map back up real quick. The funniest part about the map is the reason why I'm not talking too much shit on the fact that it straight up just is England, is Game of Thrones map is the same way.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones map is England upside down with Ireland attached.
Yeah.
If you look at it, that's all it is. And so that's the same thing with this. And each of these courts...
Which always made me laugh because the Lannisters... Or like they're always talking about how like they're the house of the sun. It's always warm and sunny there. And I'm like, where in England?
Yeah,
where is it always sunny and warm?
So this is the breakdown of the courts. So
Okay.
she's in the spring court.
Okay.
And then there's the autumn court, the summer court, the winter court.
Okay.
Then there's this big mountain range across the middle of the country.
We've run out of seasons, so we need a new thing.
And then there's the dawn court,
okay.
the day court,
All right.
and the night court.
Night court.
Bow now, bow, 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 bow now.
Yo, so who's Bull? Let's go there.
Yeah, R.I.P. He just died recently.
R.I.P. to the goat.
Yo, to Bull. So anyway.
And Roz. I loved Roz.
So she's like trying to learn how to read. Then she's talking to Lucian.
Okay.
And Lucian mentions this thing called the surreal.
It's the cereal.
The surreal.
Okay.
It's surreal?
All right. Oh my God.
Suriel. The surreal. He explains the surreal is this thing that like if you catch them,
okay,
that they'll tell you like kind of like your fortune, but like the truth. Like you can learn a lot from the surreal.
Okay.
Is what he explains to her.
Is it like a Pokemon? How do we catch it?
It's just you have to just like catch it in like a trap. And so she goes out, she's a hunter. So she goes out and she hunts the surreal. So she goes out there. And again, it's been explained to her repeatedly. Like there's a few other scenes that happen where she's like trying to make maps of the manor because she keeps trying to think of different ways to escape. But it keeps becoming like more and more evident, like how.
But okay, I don't
And also if you
she's
do-
not allowed to escape. Then she breaks the thing.
Yeah, and then he can kill her family.
Yeah.
So like, again, she's not smart.
Okay.
But like she like keeps like going around the house. Like she's going around the house, like trying to find like secret places to hide, like all this different stuff. So she gets a bow and arrow because again, Tamlin keeps telling her.
I just started picturing her as like, you know, when you adopt a cat and then they hide under the dresser for 2 weeks.
Yes.
But then after that, they spend about a month trying to find every exit until eventually they're like, wait a minute, this sunspot, and they keep feeding me.
100%. That's 100% what's happening. That is 100% what's happening. But so now she is just trying to figure out like what else is going on. So Lucian gives her like a dagger.
Okay.
And he gives her a bow and arrow.
Nice.
And she goes out into the woods and she sets a trap and she catches the surreal.
Okay.
Now the surreal is kind of like this dirty elf fairy man
All right.
that like lives in the woods.
So she caught a man in a trap?
She basically caught a hermit.
Okay.
And he's hanging by his foot
What the
upside down from a tree because she created a snare trap.
Yeah.
And the surreal tells her that she can't go home without causing the death of herself and her family.
Okay.
Which everyone's already been telling her.
Everyone's
already been telling her that.
Yeah.
But now she's hearing it from a magical creature that has no reason to lie.
All right. Or she heard it from a man.
The creature tells her that Tamlin is actually the High Lord of the Spring Court. And he tells her that staying with the High Lord will keep her safe from the blight.
Oh.
And as she seeks more detail, she's about to find out more. The Suriel tells her about the King of Highburn, which is Ireland.
Yep.
And about how the King of Highburn is mad about the treaty from 500 years ago.
Oh.
And he has sent creatures to infiltrate all of the courts in Prythian. And one of those creatures that he sent over here betrayed the king. And that creature is the Deceiver. Oh. And right as the Suriel's about to say more, that's when some creatures burst out, come walking out of the wood. And those creatures are called the Naga. And they are just kind of like lizard fairies. Like, it's the way I understood them.
Okay. So they're running the government?
Okay. Wow. Very. I'm not even going to go into how that feels. The Naga is, they're like these evil monsters. Like, we're going to eat you. We're going to eat the cereal. Faye pulls out her bow and she uses her first arrow and she shoots the trap to release the cereal.
Okay, so that's nice. That's nice.
Now, because that's important, because this whole time, Faye, it's been built up how Faye hates the fairies.
Yeah.
And is very racist towards fairies.
Okay.
And is very, untrustworthy of them and, doesn't trust them whatsoever. And the whole time they keep calling her a fairy murderer. Mm-hmm. Which is weird because she didn't know she was killing a fairy, but she never tells them that. Yeah. She never tells them, I didn't know he was a fairy.
Yeah.
He was a fucking wolf.
Okay, I wanna step in real quick and just say that if you're being called a murderer, right? Even though this could be manslaughter, really, because she didn't know. It was an accident. Mm-hmm. But she is also entering what she believes is prison.
Yeah.
So when you're entering prison, bet I'm a murderer. Bet I did it.
You know what?
No, I killed that fairy.
I wish I had you next to me, because that would have made a lot more sense. Because the whole time I was like, why don't you just fucking be honest?
No.
That you didn't know.
Let them stay scared.
So she screams as she shoots the arrow, because the whole thing was Lucian is supposed to be listening for her, because again, fairies have superpowers, because they're all superpowers.
Supersonic hearing.
He should be able to hear and be able to come get her immediately.
Yeah.
And he doesn't show up first.
Oh shit.
Tamlin shows up first.
Oh shit.
In wolf form.
Oh.
And he fucks up the Naga and then saves her, brings her back, and she's okay, feels more comfortable about it. But while they were talking, she finds Lucian, Tamlin's why did you trapped a cereal? And she's yeah. Which now he's oh, I'm impressed. You're such a good hunter. He's but you could have just given him a jacket.
Like Dobby.
It's 100% like Dobby. If you gave him a cloak, he would have also done.
See, and
you can either catch him.
That's what I was wondering, because when you were he's like a hermit, it's okay, go ask, go knock on the door.
No, but exactly. You didn't have to catch him and threaten his life. You could have also given him a gift.
You hung him upside down from a tree.
Yeah,
you shook the man.
So, but now she spends a lot of time though. The voice of the Suriel keeps echoing in her head, telling her you need to stay. You'll only be safe if you stay with the High Lord. You have to stay with the High Lord. You have to stay with the High Lord, and you'll be safe. Stay with the High Lord. It just keeps telling her this over and over again. So she starts to lighten up a little bit. She also, up until this point, even though he's the king, the lord of this manor, he can shapeshift. He can do all these different stuff. It wasn't clear to her that Tamlin was the High Lord.
Okay.
It's not clear to her until the Suriel tells her. And now she's looking at him different. He has crazy magic. She starts to ask more questions about what makes him different from Lucian and other High Fae. Mm-hmm. Because being High Fae is one thing, being a High Lord is a whole other tier.
Yeah.
Because there's only 7 High Lords.
Got it.
And they keep telling her more about she starts learning more and more little stuff. There's this blight. Their magic used to be stronger, but the blight showed up, and that's the reason why he has to keep leaving so often, because he's patrolling his lands, and at the border of his lands of the Spring Court, things like the Naga, the Bogue, the Puka, they didn't used to be in his court.
Yeah.
And because of how the blight is making him weakened, there's more evil things crawling around.
I feel I could be wrong about this, but that very specific, the blight on the magic is what happened in Neverending Story, I think.
It's like that. That's how it's described. That's how it's described.
Okay.
And they do bring up the wolf that she murdered.
Okay.
His name was Andros. And when they're talking about things, I don't know if it was this early, but later they do reveal to him that Andros was sent to find a cure for the blight.
Oh,
and
that's
he had to
why
go
he was
south of the wall.
Okay, so that's why he was far away.
Yeah, that's why he was south of the wall, and he was in wolf form, so like people wouldn't know he was a fairy because he's not supposed to cross the wall.
Got it.
That's what that whole thing is. Fair starts to lighten up like more and more, and then one night, she hears screaming, and she comes down to the main hall, and one of the high fae is carrying in a dying blue fairy.
Okay,
and it's missing wings. Its wings have been ripped off.
They've had wings the whole time?
Some fairies do.
Oh, okay.
Not all. Again, all of them are like a little different.
Okay.
And its wings have been ripped off.
Oh, all right.
And like blood is gushing out of it. And he just keeps saying, "She took my wings. She took my wings."
Oh.
And there's been this she that has also been out there that they haven't been talking about. But like Fakey's like, who the fuck is she?
Yeah.
And so Feyre holds the blue fairy's hands like as it dies.
Oh.
And it's like looking at it, it's like, no, it'll be okay. And like it starts praying for it and it dies. Like as she's holding its hand, she sits with it for like a minute. Mm-hmm. And Tamlin's like, why did you do that? You hate fairies. She goes, I wouldn't want to die alone. So I didn't want him to die alone.
Yeah.
And it's like really, and he's like, that's like basic empathy. I like that.
I like the way
the way you have like basic empathy.
Oh, okay.
So she starts to ride around more with Tamlin, like, and on days when he doesn't have to go kill monsters, they'll just like ride around. They're like talking more. They're learning more about each other. She starts to lighten up. She starts to make like little jokes and be like a little sarcastic and be like bitchy back at Lucien in front of Tamlin.
Yeah.
And like Tamlin also then explains like why Lucien is the way he is.
Yeah.
Because Lucien is from a different court.
Okay.
And he was in love with a woman who was below his station. Mm-hmm. And in these courts, like a lot of especially the sons will like kill each other because they're fighting over the throne.
Got it.
And Lucien never wanted to have the throne. He didn't want to be the High Lord.
So he was Harry and Meghan Markle.
Yeah, exactly. They murdered Meghan Markle in front of him. Yeah,
well,
his brothers killed Meghan Markle.
That's honestly what was going to happen if they didn't move to California.
It's 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm, that's what I'm talking about.
That's why they come to America.
Yep. And then she ruined Spotify.
Okay, whoa.
But the
Allegedly.
Okay. But then, hear me out. So yeah, that's how he lost his eye. Was also in that fight. Like his dad and his brothers killed his love, and then Tamlin took him in and made him his emissary.
Got it.
So he's like that way Lucien can go to all the different courts, and like Lucien's like kind of also like a spy master. He's very, if we go back to Game of Thrones, he's very that bald guy.
Oh, the one with the little sparrows.
Yeah, the little sparrows type of deal.
I was picturing him because when you said he was like kind of like the sassy bitchy guy, but works closely with the boss. I was picturing him as Stanley Tucci in The Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
That's how I'm
100%. Yes.
That's how I'm picturing him, but with red hair.
Yeah, except with red hair and actually attractive.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
Revenge Tucci. Okay, so they start to lighten up.
Okay, you keep saying this lighten up.
No,
how dark was she before?
She was being such a bitch like the whole time. Okay. And it was very much like, okay, like you're 2 weeks into captivity now, girl. Give it up.
Okay.
So she finally opens up and he keeps asking her, like, do you want anything? What do you want? Like he's offering her like everything.
Get a tutor so she can read.
She's really embarrassed that she can't read.
Okay.
So she's teaching herself on the side, like as best she can and like figuring things out. He offers to help her. Yeah. And she's like, no, fuck you. Because she doesn't want him thinking down about her because, again, she's embarrassed.
No, that's not why. That's not why. It's because she has the hyper independence from running her family that asking for help is a sign of weakness. Okay. And so she cannot ask for help. And the thought of asking for help actually physically hurts.
Why did you say that while looking in a mirror? Why did you say that? You looked directly into a mirror behind me while saying that. That's a breakthrough. Give me your hand. We just had a breakthrough.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we had a breakthrough right here live on the show. So she finally asks him for paint.
Okay.
Because she likes to paint.
All right.
And they even talk about early back in the cabin, like one of the things was, again, like her one sister was able to buy her 3 paints. So she was able to paint this thing on a table. Mm-hmm. It's like a big deal. And like in her memories, she also goes through all these different memories. And he goes, yeah, no, I'll get you paints. I'll definitely do that. He's like, also, we have a gallery here in the manor. I'm going to get it cleaned up. and I'll take you to the gallery. So he does it. He gets it cleaned up. He takes her to the gallery. She has like a religious experience in the gallery.
This is very Beauty and the Beast coded.
Yes.
Like when he takes her to the big library and then she's like, this is what I love.
And then so he takes her to the gallery and she's like it's like a religious experience because she's seen colors she's never seen before.
Okay.
Because I don't think she's ever seen like orange.
All right.
I don't know, whatever. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but she's seeing like stuff differently. She describes it's actually really cool the way she describes like how she can tell who painted what. You know, that there are different artists between them because there actually is a theme that's running through the whole room. And it's just like really, really neat. And then he then gives her a painting room and then she gets a key. So she's actually able to lock that up. So she goes in there and she's like painting about like her family and she's painting a lot of her emotions. And like, this is where she starts to like work that stuff out.
Okay. So she's in therapy now.
Yeah. She's heavily in therapy.
But it's like self-therapy.
Yeah. So there's like one day where she goes out with them and like, I think this is when they go swim in Starlight or whatever. I don't know. It's fucking dumb. And then there's a lot of like, just like laying
Did you just
around.
say swim in Starlight?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's fucking, just remember, this is
Twilight.
This is fucking
We're watching Twilight.
This is Twilight if Jane Austen wrote Twilight. So then they're coming back from someplace and they're like walking through this garden. Oh, and he describes to her like, oh yeah, this is my parents' garden. And she's like, oh, your parents, how did your dad marry your mom? He's like, oh, they didn't marry, they mated.
Ew.
Mating is different in our world. Where if you mate with somebody, it's stronger than marriage.
Okay.
And it was like really weird. It's just a like really weird addition.
Weird.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, you have a dog dick, don't you? Like that was like my next thought immediately. I'm like, you have a weird werewolf dog dick.
Oh no.
Because they keep talking about the whole like he arches his back like a wolf and his claws.
Because he's got to be primal.
He's primal because he's a shifter.
Yeah. Okay.
So then, but when they're in this garden, he out of nowhere like pushes her to the side. He's like, you gotta hide right now.
Oh.
And this he and Lucian meet this voice. And it's this real sadistic, evil voice that tells her like that she holds their fate and they need to be watching themselves and they know what they did and all this different stuff. And she's like hiding behind a bush.
Okay.
And the voice leaves. Like, and she can feel it fly away, but she can't see it.
Okay. Like
she even looks and it looks like they're talking to nothing.
Got it.
And later it's explained to her that Tamlin put a glamour on her so no one could see her. So she was invisible.
Got it.
And then it was also explained to her that what she just heard is the ACOTAR.
ACOTAR.
And then she goes back to her gallery and she paints what she imagines the ACOTAR to be. And it's basically a giant bat monster.
A bat monster?
It's a bat monster.
Okay.
Now, down the next day comes, and because she's like, oh, that was kind of crazy. Now, the next day is the Kalin Mai.
Tell me that's some type of ball or a party.
It's the Great Rite. It is the spring solstice.
Yeah.
So this is where we...
Wait a minute. Why do they need solstices if it's always spring?
So, it is later explained that each High Lord has to do these things so in the mortal realm they will have seasons.
Oh, I see.
So each of these high fae are kind of gods in that way because all magic comes from the high fae. It's later explained to her because this is what happens.
Okay.
They're walking around. She's like, why are you guys making big like pyres over there? And he's like, it's for Kalin Mai, the Great Rite.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to be near that. It's fae stuff. You're going to lock yourself into the room and you're going to set a bunch of fucking traps. Do not fucking leave your fucking room during the Great Rite. A bunch of fucking fairies are going to show up here. They're weird as hell. Do not leave your room. Everyone tells her. They spend a whole fucking chapter telling this dumb bitch, do not, human, leave your fucking room during the weird fairy thing?
Let me guess. She leaves the room.
How did you fucking guess?
Because...
So Feyre leaves the room, and when she gets down there, she knows that there's fairies there, but she can't see them directly. As she's looking at them, it's like this weird swirl mist. But out of the corner of her eyes, she can see them. And they're all different types of fairies.
Yeah.
And they're weird. And she's like, she has like a cloak on with her hood pulled up. And she's like walking through it and like trying to like figure out what's going on. And then these 3 weird fairies like notice her. They're like, a human? We haven't had a human around here in a while.
Oh no.
And that's when they like grab her and they try to drag her to the bushes where clearly they're trying to assault her.
Okay.
They're clearly trying to do worse.
All right.
And that's when a guy coughs. Mm-hmm. And they all look, and she describes him as, quote, the most beautiful man she has ever seen.
Okay.
With black hair is just standing there.
Gaston.
Basically, like he is very like that. Like he has like this black hair. He's wearing all black. He has like violet eyes. He is a fairy. He is a high fae. And he's just like, and they run away. They're like, sorry, sorry, sorry. And he's like, who are you? Like, who are you? And he's like hitting on her a bit, but he's being like kind of creepy about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm just here with my friends. He's like, what are your friends' names? And she's like, oh my God, you know, and she runs away. Like she eventually like gets away from him, and then Lucian finds her and it's like instantly takes her back to the manor. He's like, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
How many fucking people do you not understand? She's like, I just wanted to find where Tamlin was. And he goes, do you not understand what the Great Rite is? And she goes, no one explains anything to me. And he's like, during the Great Rite, Tamlin, the High Lord of the Spring, becomes the hunter where he must find the maiden. And he grabs the maiden and he drags her into a cave where they mate.
Oh.
And then everyone mates.
Oh.
It's a fairy orgy. And if he found you, he would have mated with you. And it wouldn't have been Tamlin. It would have been this like personification of the hunter.
Oh.
And she's like, and he's like shoves her in a room and he's like, set a snare in front of the door. Don't leave this fucking room. You're an idiot.
Yeah, okay.
And he shuts the door and clearly goes back to go fuck people at the giant fairy orgy.
Giant fairy orgy.
So now it's very early in the morning.
Okay.
It's very early in the morning.
They go late, those fairy orgies.
Because the whole time she keeps hearing the drums. She keeps describing the drums. And it's like, she keeps saying they're weird drums.
She's like, it's like when your neighbors are having a weird party and you're just like, when will
it's
the
just
music
drum and
stop?
bass. Yeah, exactly.
When will,
it's the other side of this hill.
Stop? Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
God, I just want to go to sleep. You just hear that deep bass. Oh, no.
Yeah, all she's hearing is Darude Sandstorm all fucking night. She's like, I can't go hang out with Darude Sandstorm. But it ends like right at like almost dawn. It ends. And she's like, I'm so hungry. Because she went to bed without eating dinner. She made a big deal about that. This whole deal. And she did finally get like a little bit of sleep. And she goes down. She's like, I'm just going to get a snack. And she like gets a cookie. Like legit. They're like, she gets a cookie. And she's like in her little nightgown. Mm-hmm. And they even describe it. And now like weirdly, there's even like a line in there about like her pert breasts.
Uh-oh,
and I'm like, here we go.
That's not a good sign.
I'm like, that's never a good sign. And she runs into Tamlin.
Oh, no.
And he's shirtless.
Oh, shit.
Except for like a bandolier. And he's like all fucking like predatored up.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was looking for you. I smelled you out there.
Oh, no.
And she's like, what? And he's like, I smelled you out there, but I couldn't find you. I found someone else, but I was thinking of you. And she gets like all jealous about it. She's like, you fuck somebody else? And he's like, I fucked somebody else. I fucked them, but I was thinking of you.
Oh.
And then he's like, I told you not to leave your room. I told you not to leave your room.
I like how you're Christian Bale Batman.
Yeah, no, it does.
Because
he did. She's like, he's growling it at her.
Yeah.
And she's like, I do what I want. And then he bites her on the neck like a dog.
What?
And she's like, and he like leaves a hickey on her. And she's like, and they're like all like horny, but they like don't touch, beyond that, like bite, like kiss bite on her neck. And then she like runs back to her room and she like dropped her cookie and she like locks the door.
She dropped the cookie?
She like locks the door and like that's the end of that chapter.
Okay.
And then the next morning like she wakes up and she comes down and she's like wearing a shirt and she like is gonna cover up the bite mark on her neck, but then she's like, no, I'm gonna leave it out. I'm gonna let him know what he did to me.
Oh.
And then she like makes a bunch of jokes about how he bit her on the neck. He's like, maybe if you weren't such a bad girl. And you're like, what the fuck? How did you guys go from 0 to like he was a rape monster last night and now you're like, he's just kind of a bad boy. And then so then something else happens. I don't quite remember, but she eventually decides to show him her paintings. And it's been a big deal.
Okay.
That she's had these locked away. Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting to about the halfway point. So she's had these paintings locked away. No one's been able to see them whatsoever. And so finally she's like, I'm going to show you my paintings. And she brings him in there and she shows him the paintings. And she's like, she has a bunch set out that these are the ones she definitely wants to show him. And those are of the spring court.
Yeah.
It's like beautiful trees. And this is that lake you took me to, that's the pond, and this is the manor. And he's like not looking at those. He's looking at the ones that she painted of her cabin and of like the woods and like how she's a hunter and how she's like him. And he like they start to talk, and that's where I've I put a tag here.
Oh, there's a Post-it note in the actual physical book
Yes. And we'll take a break after this.
Okay. Wait, are you going to read me an excerpt from the book?
Why? She said. He picked up the small paintings of the frozen forest and examined it again. I've had many lovers, he admitted. Females of noble birth, warriors, princesses. Rage hit me, low and deep in the gut, at the thought of them. Rage at their titles, their undoubtedly good looks, at their closeness to him. But they never understood what it was like, what it is like, for me to care for my people, my lands, what scars are still there, what the bad days feel like. That wrathful jealousy faded away like morning dew as he smiled at my painting. This reminds me of it. Of what? I breathed. He lowered the painting, looking right at me, right into me. That I'm not alone. I didn't lock my bedroom door that night.
What?
That's the end of the chapter. No. That's the end of the chapter.
No.
And it's like a big deal because she's been locking the door. She's like, I feel safe now. We're the same. So with that, we are going to take a page turn.
I am so concerned for this character.
Oh.
She's making terrible decisions.
FYI, from this moment forward, if there are any children listening, it's not going to get that bad, but they're going to start fucking y'all. The fucking, we are cusping. I'm edging you right towards a commercial break. If you don't like commercial breaks, please join our Patreon, patreon.com/Pearlmania500. And we'll be right back right after this. Welcome back. Hope everybody has a nice steaming hot cup of tea.
Okay.
Maybe some smokes ready.
Oh,
because we are about to get fucktown up here in Fairyville. Okay?
All right.
I want to let you guys know. We don't go to Hello Tushy at the Court of Thorns and Roses.
No.
We go right to tushy.com.
You should do both. You're
going to need to go to Hello Tushy if you go to tushy.com. Okay. So after she shows them the paintings, again, they're now like, they're loosening up more along each other. They're being a little bit more lovey-dovey. And then he takes her to this glen, like this beautiful area. Mm-hmm. And he keeps talking about how he like falls asleep. And she's like, why do you fall asleep? He's like, oh, because, the song of the willow makes me fall asleep. She's like, what are you talking about? Like, willows don't sing. And he's like, oh, I keep forgetting you're not a fairy. Mm-hmm. He's like, if you were a fairy, you would be able to see the world the way I see it, where you could see like the vibrancy and the magic of life.
Okay.
And she goes, okay, well, how could you show it to me? And he goes, I could. He's like, but you'd have to give me a kiss.
Oh.
So she goes, okay, fine. She makes a deal. And then he kisses her on each of her eyes. And then she opens her eyes and she's basically on LSD.
Nice.
Like everything, like the trees are more tree, the sky is more pink, like everything's more, it's like, this is crazy.
Suddenly she has the ability to understand people's emotions.
Yeah, no, basically, yeah. She is basically a tech bro who has taken mushrooms. Mm-hmm. She then goes back she goes back and like she goes to sleep. And when she wakes up the next morning, there is somebody there in a bird mask. And she's like, who are you? I don't recognize you. Where's Alice? And the person's like, I am Alice. And that's when she discovers, and this is the funniest part of the entire book.
Okay.
He had put a glamour on her. So she only saw certain people, and she only saw them as more human looking because they described that Alice's skin is like woody.
Oh.
Like almost like tree bark.
Okay.
And then she like starts looking around at like the other people, and then she starts to realize the manor has been described as like mostly empty. Mm-hmm. And like, so when she was like walking around and like trying to figure out where do I hide, all these different things.
Yeah.
And she starts to realize he had put a glamour on her, and she looks at the gardens, and like the gardens are full of people. Like there are thousands of people that she has not been able to see. And they are all the craziest looking fairies. Like they have wings. They're like floating and cutting, trimming trees and like doing all the fairy stuff. They're using their magic to like move pots around, all that stuff. He had just like used his High Lord magic. Was like, yeah, no, you're going to be weird if you see that shit. You're not getting used to that. But when he was like, okay, I guess you're ready. So he gave her like the eyeball kisses, and that lifted the glamour. And then she actually literally thinks, she goes, I was like doing weird somersault rolls. Like, you know, like in a comedy movie where they're like show like the guy's like, you don't need to do ninja rolls like around the corner as you're like getting through. So she's like stalking. There's definitely like a waiter like holding a tray. Like, what the fuck is this white lady doing? And like that visual was very fun. It's so like to me like that moment right there. I was like, all right, the whole book is worth it
just for
and
that.
That's
laugh.
about the halfway point.
Yeah.
So the next day she goes out to the garden and she finds a fairy head.
Oh shit! What?
Just like a decapitated head. It's in the garden. It's been spiked on a fountain.
Okay.
And they like look at it, like this head's from the night court. Bow, 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 bow. Every time they say night court, they try to make it sound like real ominous, but I can only just think of...
You're like, no.
With Judge Harry?
Yeah.
I can only think of night court. The fucking...
One of the greatest shows.
With John Larroquette?
Yeah.
This is the one they brought back for like not... It was all right.
It was okay.
The one on Peacock.
The reboot was all right.
The reboot was fine. Mm-hmm. Everyone on it was dead. Roz is still out here, though.
Roz.
By the way, I recently found out that Bull, the actor who played Bull, he was also the voice of Two-Face in Batman the Animated Series.
Huh.
And he had a deep voice. I'm Two-Face. Anyway, so they find this head, and it's like a big deal, and it really freaks her out. She doesn't like it. She doesn't sleep well. Feyron's like, I don't like the fact that there's like a head here. And then the summer solstice hits.
Okay.
And they're like, listen, you can go to the summer solstice. That's just a party, okay? Because the summer court is supposed to be in charge of that. But like we do it over here because of all the refugees from these other courts because the blight has chased people off from the different courts.
So wait, the summer solstice party, not a big orgy. Because the spring one is a big orgy because of all the refugees?
No.
That's weird.
The spring one's a big orgy because everyone's allowed to come to it from all over the place.
Come to it, got it.
But but also, you know, when you think of spring, you think of babies, you think of mating and bunny rabbits and all that stuff. When you think of whatchamacallit, when you think of summer, it's just like a party. It really is. It's described as basically like getting hammered by a bonfire while you listen to some fucking bluegrass.
Yeah.
And when she goes to the summer solstice, she's allowed to go. She's, you know, like wears a dress and she goes with Lucian and with Tamlin.
Oh, she puts on a dress?
She actually is putting on dresses now.
Man.
And she drinks some fairy wine. And Lucian's like, don't drink fairy wine. And she's like, whatever. And she knocks it back and like gets fucking ripped. Okay? This fairy wine is like fentanyl wine. She's fucking gone. Okay? This fairy wine's like
Mad Dog 2020.
This is Mad Dog with fucking Molly in it. All right? She's
bet. Let's go.
Gas to the gills. And she's dancing around.
Suddenly she's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yo,
it's
dude,
2004.
She's just fucking twirling, dude. She's just twirling. Everything is a Stevie Nicks song. And she notices like this one fucking musician's really looking at her. And as she gets closer, she realizes it's Tamlin. And he's actually like a really good fucking violinist. Like he's out here like fiddling and she's like watching the way his hands grip that neck. And she's thinking about, yo, if you can finger that fretboard, think what else you can finger. Anyway, so then they get like wasted. Okay. And then the next morning, it's like lunch, but it's breakfast. They say that in the book. And they're like sitting there and they're eating. And all of a sudden they hear this voice as like come in to the building. And then he's like, Faye, hide. Tamlin's like, hide Faye immediately. And they hide her and like throw a glamour up. And she's like hidden behind a thing. Oh, one thing they also talk about is the reason when she was at the big fairy orgy, why she couldn't see everyone was because of the glamour.
Got it.
She wasn't able to see fairies that looked too unhuman.
Yeah.
Because it would freak her out. So when she hears this, she thinks it's going to be the ACOTAR. She thinks she's going to finally see this beast. Yeah. And the doors fly open, and in walks that beautiful black-haired guy.
Yep.
He is actually another High Lord. Mm-hmm. And his name is Rysand.
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 Rice and beans.
So she recognizes him. She doesn't let anybody know that she knows who he is. Mm-hmm. But he comes in and he just like starts talking shit immediately. He's like, Tamlin, like you're a fucking dog.
Whoa.
How dare you? Like he
he is technically a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Lucian calls Rysand Amaranth's whore.
Whoa.
He's like, whatever, dude, you're Amaranth's whore. And Tamlin taunts it gets taunted by Rysand, and he's like, dude, you didn't even try to fucking save yourself when this bullshit went down 49 years ago. Like, you didn't even do nothing about it. They keep going back and forth, and they're like screaming at each other. Meanwhile, Feyre's hearing all of this, and then all of a sudden he like looks down, and Rysand realizes like there's 3 plates here. Mm-hmm. And there's only 2 people here.
Okay.
And he goes, you bitches glamored me. And he throws his hand up, and boom, he can see Feyre.
Yeah.
And like Lucien and Tamlin fall to their knees and start begging him, like crying and like, don't tell her that Feyre's here. She can't know that Feyre's here. Oh. And Feyre's like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then he walks over, the evil guy walks over to Feyre, and he's like, what's your name? You better tell me your name, or I'm going to tell everybody that you're here. Oh. And then she says, my name, and she starts thinking, and she lies. Yeah. She says, my name's Claire Bedor, which is just the name of this girl that like one of her sisters knew back in the village.
Got it.
And he's like, got it. And he's like, I'll see all y'all under the mountain at Amaranth's court. And they're all like, all right. And then he leaves. And then after that is when they finally fuck.
Okay.
So like a bunch of other stuff happens. That's it's not really important. It's just like this kind of whole thing. It's a bunch of filler. And basically we just get to this very long, drawn out edging. And then they finally bang. Okay. Because it's just like this one night. He like tells her that she needs to leave. He's like, I'm going to send you home. I'm going to get, don't worry about the treaty. None of this matters. And even Lucian's like, dude, why don't you just wait a couple more days? And he's like, no, she needs to leave now. Now that Rysand knows that she's here, she needs to go. Okay. Like, and you can go back to your family. And like this whole time he's told her, like, he's like, I put a glamour on your family. Like they think you're at your rich aunt's place. Like they're fine. I've been taking care of them. Like I've been using my powers. And she's like, she's never believed him really. Mm-hmm. But he comes to her the night before she's supposed to leave, and they're like talking. And I'll just read you the passage.
Oh, God. Okay.
The full force of that wild, unrelenting High Lord's power focused solely on me, and I felt the storm contained beneath his skin, so capable of sweeping away everything I was, even in its lessened state. But I could trust him, trust myself to weather that mighty power. I could throw all that I was at him, and he wouldn't balk. Give me everything, I breathed.
What?
He lunged, a beast, freed of its tether. We were tangled of limbs and teeth, and I tore at his clothes until they were on the floor, then tore at his skin until I marked him down his back, his arms. His claws were but devastatingly gentle on my hips as he slid down between my thighs and feasted on me, stopping only after I shuddered and fractured. I was moaning his name when he sheathed himself inside me in a powerful, slow thrust that had me splintering around him. We moved together, unending and wild and burning. And when I went over the edge the next time, he roared and went with me. I'm available for any voiceovers.
Audiobooks. You don't need AI. We got them right here, ready to read.
You want to spend an hour paragraph explaining how you come? I'm right here for you, baby. So anyway, so they fuck.
Okay.
Then she even says, like, they even wake up in the middle of the night, fuck again.
Okay, great.
And then the next morning, he's like, get the fuck out of here. He just
sends her. You gotta go.
He's like, you gotta go. You gotta go.
For your own safety, baby.
You gotta go for your own safety. So he puts her in a carriage, and with a fairy like leading it. And he puts a glamour on it, and they send her away. But even like when they're riding back, like again, they do it. She smells metal. She passes out. She wakes up. She's at this new manor, and she's like, "What manor is this?" And as they get closer, she recognizes her sisters from a distance, and they're living in this like beautiful, rich house.
Wait! You're telling me that her shitty sisters and her shitty dad got to have a better life when she left? They got rewarded?
Yes. Because he promised her he would take care of them. So they explain that after she went to go live with her dying aunt, again, they had this rich, sick, dying aunt.
Sure.
And she's like, yeah, no, it's Rich Diane. And as they're talking, like the ferry coachman keeps taking the
luggage,
the chests and things off the thing, off the carriage, and it's like full of gold and diamonds and rubies and all this. They're like uncut gems, and like Adam Sandler's like there, uncut gems. I want to stuff these views. And like the dad's like, oh my God, you're like rich. He's like, we're doing good. Because like they're doing great. They're in like a house with like a bunch of bedrooms. Like they're doing well. And basically they explain that like after she left to go with the middle sisters, explain this, Elaine.
Yeah.
Nestra's staying at a distance. But Elaine and the dad are like, yeah, after you left, like this dude showed up and was like, hey, invest this money for me, dude. Like just showed up and like handed the dad money. Like, you should invest this for me. And he did, and it worked out. And then
he crypto broed?
He crypto broed.
Okay.
Dad, fucking yes. 100%. Oh my God. Yeah, you hit the dad? Oh my God. Yeah, he got Nigerian prince scammed and it worked out.
Yeah.
That's 100% what happened. And then like a few other things happened. Like basically everything the dad did just started working. And then before they know it, they had even more money than before they even lost it. And Elaine has like been going out to parties and it's been the whole social season and she's been doing the balls. But like, you know, like boys are weird, but Nestra hasn't been going and Nestra's been super weird. And this goes on for like a couple days. Like dad's like weighing all the gold and everything and be like, he's like, Feyre, you're rich as shit. And he's like, I'm sorry I was such a bag of shit. And then like there's a moment where finally Feyre goes to Nestra and she's like, why are you being so fucking weird?
Yeah.
And Nestra's like, because the glamour didn't work on me, bitch. You got stolen by a werewolf.
Yo, man. Wait, is another book from her perspective? Because that would be incredible.
No. She explains.
She just has to live with the knowledge. Her dad and sister are just seeing imaginary things and investing in crypto.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Her sister's going to party. Oh my God.
So her sister explains. So number one, she did not marry Thomas.
Okay, good.
Because after Feyre got taken by the monster, she's like, I need to go get my sister.
Yeah.
This is fucking crazy.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to have to cook.
And she said she like tried to get her dad to do it. Her dad wouldn't do it. She went to go ask Thomas and realized he wouldn't have helped.
Yeah.
She's like, why the fuck would I want to be with some man like this? Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
So she went on her own. She hired the mercenary with the leftover money they had. And she and the mercenary went to the wall, but they couldn't cross it.
Yeah.
And she like was stuck. But then when she came back, everything had started doing well for them. And then they had moved and all that. So she's like, the whole time this has been crazy.
Yeah.
And she's like, I thought I was losing my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what happened to you? And so then Feyre tells her, like, I fucked a fairy prince. And she's like, what the fuck? And then they throw this big ball because they're like, hey, Feyre's back. And they throw a big ball. Okay. And at the big ball, the dad's like, yeah, I might invest in like this house, up the street. And they're like, what do you mean you're going to, what house up the street? And she goes, yeah, the Beddoes estate burned down. And then the whole family died. And she's like, the Bador? And Nestra's like, yeah, you remember my friend Claire Bador? Her whole family died.
Oh, shit, dude.
And that's when she's like, Feyre's like, oh, fuck. Rhysand did that.
Yeah.
That was the Night Court. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? So she immediately is like, I gotta go. And she goes back. She like leaves the ball. She goes back to the house and she just starts packing. Like she puts on trousers. She leaves
in the middle of the party they threw for her?
Yes, she leaves in the middle of the party. Nestra's following her.
What a drama queen.
Nestra's following her and it's like, what the fuck? And like her dad and other sister, Elisa, show up. And they're like, why do you leave the party? And she's like, she says, I don't remember exactly what she says, but basically the glamour falls from the dad's eyes and the middle sister's eyes at the same time. Mm-hmm. And they're like, wait, what? Wait, you got taken by a werewolf monsters. And everyone's like, yeah, dude. Keep up. And then like the older sister's like, yeah, dude, Dad, I've always hated you. Like you're fucking worthless. You've never protected us. I've hated you forever. I hate because they also make a big deal. They talk about how when the dad lost all the money, creditors came and like broke his kneecaps, which is why he couldn't work. Mm-hmm. And like the girls watched that happen.
Yeah.
And like he couldn't defend himself. The creditors, like if Feyre hadn't gotten between them and like did something, like they were like the creditors would have taken the girls and sold them into slavery. Like there's all this fucked up stuff there. And like the dad's just like a piece of shit.
Okay.
And so Feyre's like, I need to go. I love Tamlin. I need to save him. And the one thing is they keep talking about how she keeps almost telling him that she loves him, but she won't do it.
Yeah.
So then she gets a horse and she rides back to the wall and she can't cross it.
Of course not.
But she rides down it a bit until she's able to finally find a hole.
Oh.
And she goes through, because she's like, clearly there has to be a hole somewhere. So she finds one and she's able to cross it. And she gets back to the spring court. Now, this part made me laugh internally because I kept picturing a very specific moment. Do you remember the movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
Yes.
With Kevin Costner.
Absolutely.
So there's that moment where he returns from the Crusades and he gets back to their estate.
Yep.
And it's like been destroyed.
Yeah.
And he finds like this decrepit man that worked there. And like the guy explains, your family was murdered by Prince John. She has that moment. But with Alice, because she shows up and the manor's been like not leveled, but it's like in shambles.
Got it.
And as she finds Alice, because Alice is hiding there, and Alice kind of begins to explain the whole thing. But the whole time I was picturing this, I was picturing it not like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Men in tights.
When he gets back to his estate and they lift the whole thing off the foundation and just Blinken's left there.
Yeah.
So I'm picturing Alice, because again, it's also like whenever they because her name is Alice, spelled ALIS, but I was picturing her as Alice from the fucking Brady Bunch.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because and she's wearing like a bird mask, so that's how I'm picturing her.
Yeah.
So the first thing Alice is like, yo, you idiot, you're not supposed to fucking be here. He told you to leave.
She doesn't follow direction. We've known this since page 1.
And then Alice is like, well, now that you're here, and now that it's past the 50th anniversary, I can tell you, idiot, you were supposed to tell him you loved him, so that way the curse would have broken.
Okay, that is Beauty and the Beast.
And then the mask would have come off.
That's literally Beauty and the Beast.
Because he's had a spell put on him by an evil witch who is also the queen of this land.
Before the last rose petal falls.
Yes, 100%. She had 50 years and legit, she spells out like how specific this curse is so crazy. It's insane.
So if he knew the curse, why would he send her away if she could break the curse?
Because here's the thing. He wasn't allowed to tell her as a part of it, like Beauty and the Beast. But the exact curse is basically Tamlin, Amaranth showed up from Highburn. She stole powers from the king of Highburn.
Got it.
She put all of the High Lords. All of the High Lords are under her spell. She did cast a spell on Tamlin as well, using like poison or whatever. And the spell said that he couldn't remove the mask. No one in his court could remove the mask because they did it at a party, a mask party.
Got it.
So they were all trapped with the mask on, so that way everyone would know that they're all part of the spring court, so they couldn't move around or hide. And that he had 50 years to find a human woman. Because one of the things he said was, he was a kid when the war happened. And he's like, and he never liked that his parents had slaves. And he basically did the get out, like, well, I wouldn't have done that. And she was like, fuck you then. If you love humans so much, I want you to go find a human who fucking hates fairies so much that she would kill one. And then you bring her back to your lands and she has to tell you that she loves you. And you're not allowed to tell her about this curse and blah, 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 blah. But it's like so fucking specific.
This is so specific.
It's so specific. So like he then had been sending each of his men, he can make them shapeshift into wolves.
Okay.
Into wolves. So for 50 years, one at a time, he'd been sending them over the wall to be murdered by white women.
Wait. This is not a great plan. Because if there's one thing white women love, it's saving a dangerous dog. You got a dangerous dog that looks a little intimidating? Yeah. White women are here to put a cute little bandana on that fucker. She's the only one that would kill one.
Yeah, basically, she was the only one who refused to give money to the pit bull rescue. So she goes on to explain, like, and the thing is Amaranth has like an extra double deep hatred for humans.
Okay.
Because she had a sister named Clythea.
Oh my God.
And Clythea had fallen in love with a human warrior during the war.
Okay.
And Amaranth was the king of Hyburn's biggest general. So it was like Amaranth and Clythea were like the two big generals.
Yeah.
But Clythea was fucking this human warrior named Jurian on the side.
Big mistake.
And Amaranth the whole time was like, you better stop fucking doing that. And like occasionally giving her info. And at some point, Clythea is murdered by Jurian.
Oh.
Because he like betrays her. and he killed her. And that made Amaranth so crazy that she's like, I want every human dead. And she hunted down Jurian, which is why they lost the war. Amaranth wasn't at the final battle because she was hunting down Jurian.
Got it.
And so the King of Highburn lost that battle, the whole thing. So like the last 500 years have all been because of this weird shit. And then the last 50 has all been because he had to go find a white lady that wouldn't want to rescue a pit bull.
Yeah.
All right.
An impossible task, honestly.
Impossible task. So she basically Alice tells her this whole story. Also, earlier in it, too, Alice had mentioned about how she was a refugee from the summer court.
Okay.
Who had gotten there like right before the mask thing happened. Because she left there because Amaranth had killed her sister and her husband. And she was there protecting her two nephews. So they had taken refuge at the spring court. And the nephews, like, she never meets the nephews. We're never like they're brought up. They're just these like background reason why Alice is the way she is.
They're little teacups.
Yeah, that's her little teacups.
They're little teacups.
So Feyre's like Feyre is like, I need to go save Tamlin.
How is she gonna save Tamlin?
That's literally what Alice says, and she's like, through the power of love. And she's like, you fucking idiot. God. You're a day late. You're legitimately a fucking day late.
Yeah.
So she goes under the mountain. Because that's where, under the mountain, is the court of Amaranth.
Okay.
So she's like, I'm going to sneak in, all this different stuff. She's immediately caught.
Yeah,
sure. She's immediately caught by the ACOTAR.
Oh, okay, great.
The big bat monster.
The big bat monster.
It drags her, and she meets Amaranth. It takes her right to the Dark Fairy Queen. And now, remember how I described to you, for this book has the wolf, like the Hyrule-style wolf with the arrow in it.
Yeah.
The other book has like this weird goth queen on it.
Okay.
Amaranth's the weird goth queen. Now, the first issue I have is that they make her evil and she's a redhead. So fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. I'm tired of gingers being printed as evil people in fucking everything. We are more than just Scottish. Anyway, so she gets dragged in front of it.
Northern Italian.
She notices that
all kinds of gingers.
Amaranth is wearing a ring with a human eyeball on it that is moving around.
Yo, that's badass. Yo.
Yeah, that's like looking around.
Yeah.
And she has like long bony fingers. She's like pale. She's wearing like all black leather with like spikes on it.
She sounds really cool.
She's pretty cool, but she's also just like a huge bitch. And then like next to her, like Tamlin's sitting in a throne like a little lower than hers, but next to her. And so are all the other High Lords.
Got it.
And Amaranth offers her a deal. Because she's like, who is this human girl? And she's like, I'm in love with Tamlin. And she's like, no, you're not. You're a liar. And she's like, no, I'm in love with Tamlin. And then she goes, oh, like the other one who denied it. And she points to the wall behind Feyre. And Feyre looks over, and there's Claire's corpse. And it has clearly been tortured.
Whoa.
Like, viscerated. Like,
Gross.
It's been destroyed. Like, she can see each thing they did to her. And they go into some pretty big detail about, like, how desecrated this body has been.
Ugh.
And it's, like, horrifying. And then, like, Feyre feels terrible about this for, like, the rest of the book. Like, I can't believe I did this to Claire. So Amaranth offers her a fairy deal.
Also would love to see this perspective from Claire's. Like, she just gets kidnapped from her house. Like, what the fuck are you
No, exactly. And the whole time, like, you love Tamlin. She's like, I don't know who that is.
Fucking Tamlin.
And the whole time, she's like, fairies just kill people. And, like, because she, again, lived in a world she'd never seen a fairy before.
Yeah.
And then one day they show up, murder her entire family, and then, like, torture her. And, like, there's a lot of other implied horrifying stuff.
I was right. You guys are the worst.
There's a lot of implied stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it there.
I don't like
horrifying. Amaranth offers Feyre a deal. You can complete 3 tasks.
Oh, God.
And or you can answer my riddle, and the curse will be immediately broken. So you can, every month, it's 1 task per month on the full moon.
Okay.
You can do one of these tasks. And or if you answer my riddle, that will break the curse I have over Tamlin and the entire Spring Court.
Okay.
And she's like real cocky.
Why would she
put
so much power in the hands of this mortal?
Because it's a book.
Oh, okay. You're right.
So Feyre accepts, and they immediately do like a gangland style beat in. Like, she's like, I accept. And the ACOTAR punches her in the face so hard, it breaks her jaw.
Oh my God, it's back to prison, baby.
Yeah, no, they beat the ever-living dog shit out of her, then drag her to like a decrepit dungeon cell that's like with dripping water and all that stuff. And they throw her in there where they're like, she's only given like moldy bread and water, Lucian shows up and heals her, and he confirms everything up until this point of like everything. He's like, he explains like, we couldn't tell you anything because of the curse and because of blah. The blight has been Amaranth this entire time. She's straight up evil. This is evil incarnate. Why the fuck are you here, girl? Like, what are you doing? Like, my evil brothers are here. Like, every evil creature ever is here. Why would you think you could win? And she's like, because of love. He's like, you're a fucking idiot. So, they then drag, it's like a day or two later, Amaranth drags Feyre back.
Yeah, she has to do her tasks.
And, well, this is before that. And she's like, what's your name? Because they don't know her name.
Got it.
And like, they even have Ricin is like pulled out. And she's like, Ricin, do you recognize this? He's like, I don't know who that is. He goes, she goes, how do you not recognize that this is Tamlin's girl if you brought us this other one? And Ricin's like, they all look alike. And she's like, all right, whatever. And she's like, what's your name? And Feyre's like, I'm not telling you your name because you can't tell a fairy your name or else they get control of you. It's like, bitch, you already in a dungeon.
Yeah, babes.
So Feyre's like, fine, ACOTAR, kill Lucian. And she's like, my name's Feyre. And that's like, that becomes important. So the first trial hits like a day or two later. And the first trial, they shove her into like a giant dirty mud labyrinth.
Okay.
Where she has to fight a giant tapeworm.
A giant tapeworm?
Yeah, it's like a giant like earthworm tapeworm monster with like spinning teeth type of thing, like floating around. And it's like actually it's probably the second best chapter of the entire book. Like as of like, it's really well written, has really, really good action. The describing, all the Fae are betting on it. Like they're all betting, they're all gambling on it. She's like, she builds like a bone. She finds like this pit full of bones where they've clearly been throwing things. It's like the Rancor from, actually no, this is straight up Return of the Jedi, because she uses the bones she finds of its previous victims, and she sticks them in the wall, and the worm like falls into a bone pit trap she basically builds, which is straight up Return of the Jedi. Everyone loses their money because everyone had bet on the worm except for one person.
Oh, who was it?
Ricin bet on Feyre to win.
Ricin?
Yeah, the evil dark-haired guy.
Yeah.
So Feyre is then sent back to her dungeon.
Gotta go back.
Where she realized she has a compound fracture in her arm and she's bleeding out.
Oh.
And it's getting infected. And she's waiting for Lucian to show up. She's waiting for Lucian to show up. But Ricin shows up.
Oh, no.
And he offers her a deal. And at first he's like, I'll fix your arm. And then if you survive all this, 2 weeks out of the month, you need to spend it at my court out of each month.
Okay, listen.
So spend half the year with me. And she's like, she literally bargains it down to 1 week a month. Mm-hmm. And he's like, fine.
Isn't that the thing with the lady from that had to go back to Hades all the time?
Yes. It's straight up that. Just is that. And he is the devil. Like that's. It's the night
Hades.
court.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the night court. Bow, now, bow, 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 bow. So she bargains him down to 1 week a month. Mm-hmm. Not like 3 months a year.
She should have never ate that pomegranate. Got it.
So he fixes her arm, but now there's a permanent tattoo on it that shows that she is his.
Got it.
So she has like this weird tattoo arm now. Part of her deal of being there is she has to clean. She's given like crazy cleaning tasks that are like impossible
in the dungeon.
No, like, so the guards will bring her out of the dungeon and like take her to a room and they give her like this bucket and they're like, you have to clean this floor.
Okay.
And as she uses the bucket with the mop and like to try to clean it with like a scrubby brush on the ground, the bucket is enchanted in a weird way that it's making the floor dirtier.
Okay.
So she's like crying and she can't get it clean. But then Lucian's mom like literally walks in and goes, thank you for saving my son. And like, boom. And like, it's clean water.
Yeah.
And then she's able to clean that room. And then the next time the guards take her and they say, you have to clean this fireplace. This fireplace is full of lentils.
Okay.
You need to get every lentil out of this fireplace. And the fireplace is like full of ash as well.
Yeah.
And she's like trying to clean it up. And then Ricin comes in and like Ricin is like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. You can he like uses his magic and like cleans the lentils, puts them in a little bowl, cleans all the ash out. Everything's like done. And the guards come in, they're like, "Aw, she did it."
Oh, boo.
And Rice is like, "Stop messing with her." So this is when it gets weird.
Now it's gonna get weird.
So this is when we're gonna get really uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
Because like part of what Ricin was talking about is how he's like, "You're mine now."
Oh no.
And it's like, again, implied. A lot's implied, but nothing actually happens. Mm-hmm. He has two of his shadow servants come and get her from the dungeon where they wash her.
Oh.
And then they cover her in this weird blue-black ink paint. And then they put on a dress that barely covers her. Like, she talks about how it's basically gauze, like you can see through it. And again, a lot of language like pert breasts are mentioned. And then she is brought to a party, a court party.
Okay.
As her arm candy. And then he forces her to drink fairy wine where she blacks out, and then she has to dance for him all night.
Oh.
And he makes a big deal that the reason the paint is on her is so everyone can see exactly where he touches her.
Okay.
And if anyone else touches her, that he'll know.
Oh, right.
And yeah, now the one thing they mention repeatedly is he clearly never touches anywhere besides like just around her waist.
Okay.
Like every now and then, or like to have her sit on his knee and stuff like that. But mostly he's getting her hammered on Pharaoh wine. She's dancing and spinning and all night. And then she's sent back to her cell. This goes on all month. Trial 2 hits. Trial 2, she is pushed into kind of a spike pit.
Oh, all right.
And Lucian is in the other spike pit. And the crowd is watching and betting. And Amaranth tells Feyre, because again, it looks like Feyre to me every time I see it. Feyre has to solve a puzzle. And the puzzle involves 3 levers.
All right.
And there is a clue is written above it.
Okay.
But she can't fucking read.
Right.
And so she's looking at it, she's like, and there's also numbers on it. So 1, 2, 3. So there's like a riddle with these fucking levers and 1, 2, 3. And she like can almost make out like 2 words. And it's like a paragraph. And she's like, fuck. And she's like, I'm just going to pull 2. And as she's reaching to pull 2, her arm starts to hurt. The one that Ricin fixed.
Okay.
And then she reaches for 1 and her arm still hurts.
So then
she reaches for 3 and her arm doesn't hurt and she pulls it because the spike trip's about to kill her and Lucian.
Yeah.
She pulls it. Done. She fixed, she did it. She passed the trial.
Yeah.
Didn't have to fight a giant worm. Everything's fine. She goes back. We do a whole more month of paint and drunk dancing. Now she's super depressed. We're getting right before the trial. She's like super depressed. She's like, what am I even doing this for? Even if I win the trial.
You have no choice. That's why you're doing this.
Yeah. Well, that's no choice.
You are literally a prisoner.
But even if she's thinking to herself, like, even if I'm successful, what am I getting? He's immortal. I'm going to get a couple months with him.
Yeah.
Like, for him, this will be a week. This is like a long, I'm going to spend my entire life for a long weekend. But also, there's the other part of it. She's like,
how is she going to spend any time with Tamlin if she's already owned by Rysand?
She's not thinking that far. That's another part of it. She's like, this guy owns me. Like, there's all this other different stuff.
You think the guy that covers you in paint so people can touch you is going to go let you bone the wolf guy? That's not how that's going to work.
And also, it's being made clear to her repeatedly that once this is over, all of the High Lords are going to join Amaranth and the King of Highburn, and they're going to kill every human on Earth.
Oh.
So, like, she's also, like, mourning her family, and she's hoping that her sisters were smart enough to, like, take the money and run to the continent. Like, she's hoping they're not still just south of the wall on clearly England.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe they should Brexit the situation.
Yeah, this is a Brexit time. So it's right before the third trial. Like, Rysand isn't really paying attention to her. Tamlin, this entire time, by the way, has been watching her from his chair, showing no emotion.
He's like months. Zombified.
He's zombified, but also like he doesn't want Amaranth. It's clear like he doesn't want Amaranth to see that she's getting to him.
Yeah.
And all this other stuff. So he's sitting there, and there's a moment where like Feyre's like, nobody's like, Bryce is ignoring me. Nobody's really noticing me. They've gotten like bored with me getting hammered and spinning around and dancing and giggling all night.
Yeah.
And I don't know where like Tamlin like grabs her. Like, he's, like, able to get to the side. I guess, like, he's, like, on his way to the bathroom or whatever. And he grabs her and he, like, pulls her into this, like, cloak room. And he's like, I love you. I missed you. And she's like, I love you. I missed you. Oh, my God. I missed you. Somebody's like, I love you. Why'd you come back? And she's like, you idiot. You fucking, why'd you come back? Like, why? She's like, no, I love you, too. And then Rysand comes into the room. He's like, what the fuck are you idiots doing?
Yeah, idiots.
You guys are fucking morons. So, Tamlin, like, leaves. And then, like, Amaranth and Tamlin and like the rest of the court like walk into the cloakroom, and right as they open the door, like Rysand just starts violently making out with Feyre.
Oh.
And then like he sends her back to the dungeon.
Yep.
And then he appears in the room. He's like, Yeah, if I hadn't made out with you, they all would have known you were kissing fucking Tamlin, and then this shit would have gone fucking sideways. I have a lot running on this. Have you not figured that out yet?
Yeah.
Have you not figured out that I'm fucking like good Littlefinger?
Yeah.
Moron. You're so dumb, Feyre. You can't even fucking read. You fucking idiot. Like, he brings it up repeatedly. It's brought up repeatedly that she can't read. He tells her that she's the only one he can really talk to.
So she is, like, what's her name? Sansa.
Yeah, she's Sansa.
Because Sansa in the very beginning is just dumb. Like, because she's a young girl and she's trying to navigate this system and, like, just making all the worst fucking decisions. While Littlefinger and them are like, listen, we're booby trapping this, but we're trying to help you. He
explains to her, he's like, you need to win.
Yep.
If not, Amaranth will rule the entire world forever.
Yep.
She will kill every human being.
Mm-hmm.
But if you win, then Tamlin will be strong enough now to kill Amaranth. And that Rhysand has been using Feyre to make Tamlin angrier. But the paint is to show Tamlin, I'm not touching any of the bits.
Oh.
I'm showing you that I am touching her, but not in any of the fairy bit.
The bits.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm not getting woofy over here.
This is very strange.
So he explains all of that. And then he also explains that Amaranth particularly picked Rhysand. And the reason Rhysand is the king of the Night Court is because Rhysand's dad killed Tamlin's dad and brothers.
All right.
And like all this different stuff. And when that happened, Tamlin wasn't supposed to be the High Lord.
Yeah.
He was like the youngest. He was just a soldier. But he inherited everything. And so when Amaranth came in, he wasn't ready for her. But now he's had 49 years of training. You know what I mean? Like, so now once he gets his full powers, he'll be able to fucking own her. But he's like, he needs to win.
Yeah.
He's like, so you need to win the third trial.
Okay.
So the third challenge shows up.
All right.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
I don't think you are.
Okay, I might not be.
Okay.
Is cleaning something?
No, it's killing 3 innocent people.
The fuck? We have escalated, guys.
Yeah.
We have really escalated.
So the first time, this whole time, by the way, I forgot to read you the riddle.
Oh, there's the riddle that was on the wall that she couldn't read?
No. The riddle when the 3 trials were declared.
Oh, right.
Because there was an and or.
Yeah, so
do the 3
she
trials.
Could figure out the riddle, she could be done this.
It's instant done. It's the golden snitch.
Yeah.
The riddle is the golden snitch. You catch it, auto win.
Got it.
But she can't read, and she's stupid, and she keeps saying that to herself.
Yeah.
These are not my words. These are her words in the book. Mm-hmm. I can't read. I'm illiterate. I'm dumb. I'm never going to figure out this riddle. I'm going to read the riddle for you.
Okay, great.
Okay, you ready for it?
Yeah.
There are those who seek me a lifetime, but we never meet. And those I kiss, but who trample me beneath ungrateful feet. At times I seem to favor the clever and the fair, but I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. By large my ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned I become a difficult beast to defeat. For though each of my strikes lands a powerful blow, when I kill, I do it slow. So that's the riddle. Mm-hmm. So now we're at the third challenge. And they're legit. They bring in 3 people wearing hoods, and they're 3 fairies. And Amaranth hands her, it literally presents 3 daggers that are made of ash wood and says, stab them. You have to stab them through the heart. You got to kill all 3 of these motherfucking fairies, and then you're free. And she takes off they pull off the hood of the first one, and it's like a younger, like, I want to think like early 20s, the human version of early 20s fairy.
Okay.
And he's like weeping. He's like, don't kill me, don't kill me. And she's like, I can't, this is fucked up. Like, oh my God. And she takes the dagger and she stabs him in the heart, kills him.
Yeah.
And then they pull off the hood of the second one, and it's a lady fairy. And she's like praying, like basically praying to, you know, like her
fairy god,
but also be like, take me to the cauldron, but also like, just do it quick, like make it, like, let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Let's go. And like the one thing they make a point of in the book is she has to get a fresh dagger for each one because Amaranth is so fucking crazy. She's like, I want you to fucking choose every step each time. You can't just go bop, bop, bop. You have to go bop, drop, pick up another one, bop, drop, pick up another one. Like that's a different pacing to it. So she stabs the lady fairy. And then she gets to the third fairy. And the whole time Tamlin's sitting up there watching her. And she gets to the third one. and they pull off the hood, and it's Tamlin.
Wait,
and then
what?
she looks over at the throne, and the Tamlin that's sitting there, the glamour rises, and that's just the ACOTAR, and he's just giggling. Big bat monster's like, you gotta stab your fucking love. And they're all sitting there, and that's when conveniently, she starts to put together that part of the curse that has never been mentioned up until now.
Okay.
Is that Tamlin's heart was turned to stone.
What?
Legitimately, like actual stone. I don't mean like metaphorically. Like he has a stone heart.
What?
So the end of the chapter is her just like looking at Amaranth and just because Amaranth's like, you won't do it, you bitch. But meanwhile, like again, it's like, yeah, you have to murder him or she's going to kill everyone else you've ever known.
Yeah.
So it's like she's stuck either way, even if he didn't have the stone heart. But like the stone heart, she stabs him in the heart until it touches his stone heart.
Got it.
But that doesn't work. Like he doesn't.
So he doesn't die.
He doesn't die.
So she doesn't win.
But she does win.
Oh, because she was willing to do it.
She stabbed him in the heart.
Got it.
That was what Amaranth said. Stab me in the heart. You have to stab them in the heart. She did stab him in the heart. She didn't say kill them.
Got it.
So he does. And like everyone's like, oh my God, she did. Nobody bet on this one, by the way.
Oh, yes.
It's also like quiet the whole time. Because like the first bunch, like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude, Amaranth. Everyone's kind of like, yo, this is it. Like this is the game.
Yeah.
So when she first walked in the room, everyone's like, this. So it's like she did it. And everyone's like, what does that mean? It felt very much like when Joe Biden beat Trump. Like there was that moment where like nobody wanted, like if you were in New York, you celebrated. But like everywhere else in the country were like, did he win? Like,
yeah, well,
and there was that moment where everyone's like, did he win? And then like the people in the crowd are like, all right, Amaranth, she did it.
Yeah.
You got to release him. And then Amaranth's like, I didn't say when.
Oh, Amaranth.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't say when. And then like Feyre like says something, and then Amaranth just straight up fucking murks, like just shoots her with the fucking magic.
Okay.
Now, one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that fucking eyeball ring that Amaranth has is moving around wildly. It's made clear at some point during this, and I just forgot to put a note about it. That is Jurian, the man who killed Amaranth's sister. Oh. That is his human eyeball that she has trapped his soul in.
That's pretty cool.
To torture him.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
To show. And so
she's really, you know what she is? She's creative.
She's really evil.
She's really evil creative.
Yeah.
And when she thinks of something, she overthinks it for sure.
So as she's blasting her, she's like, you fucking human. You think you're better. You're just like Jurian. Like, you're just, like, look what I did to him. Like, and she's blasting him. I'm blasting her like all around. Yeah. And Tamlin's like screaming at her like, stop, don't do this. And that's when like Ricin like runs in with an ash dagger and he attacks Amaranth.
Yeah.
He's like, she fucking, and people are chanting and screaming like, she won. You fucking, you're bullshit. You're a liar. Like, you fucking lost. Like, you lost, girl. And like other people are like, yo, shut up, dude. She didn't like really lose. Like, it's very January 6th.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
man.
It's really crazy.
Okay.
So Ricin runs in and like tries, and she like blasts Ricin across the door, you know, like across the room. And like all this other crazy stuff is happening. And then like, but meanwhile, she's still like, as she's blasting Ricin and Ricin's fighting back, she's also blasting Feyre with magic.
Okay.
And each time she gets blasted, Feyre's like, a rib breaks, an arm breaks, so-and-so breaks.
Ugh.
But as this is happening, Feyre suddenly like starts to piece things together and realizes that the answer to the riddle.
I'm going to hold your hand. Okay.
What do you think the answer to the riddle is?
I don't know.
It's love.
Oh, my God.
And she says, the answer to the riddle is love. And then her back breaks and she dies.
Yo, okay.
Yeah. Her back, she literally says that her spine snaps.
Oh.
But
okay,
this is the moment in the movie, when they make a movie of this.
It's definitely going to be a movie.
Yeah, I read online that they are working on making this a movie, or at least like a TV series on Hulu or something. They need to bring in Evanescence because right here, it felt like it was written in slow-mo.
Mm-hmm.
But so she dies, but she's still the narrator, so you need to know what happens.
Yeah.
Again, magic stuff.
Okay, magic stuff.
Remember the tattoo?
Yeah, on her arm.
During this whole time, she's been able to like communicate with Ricin and stuff like that, like through like telepathy, kind of like through the connection of the tattoo. So when she dies, her soul doesn't leave the room. she can actually now see through Ryson's eyes.
Oh, okay.
And she can see her own corpse. That's how she knows she's dead.
Got it.
And so in this moment, it's like, break me out, take me out inside. Like the masks start to fall from the spring court because she said, the answer is love. Take me out, break me off, save me. Like you can feel it like as the masks come off, like Lucian's masks come off, he immediately just like turns and he just like fucking punches one of these demon fairies.
Yeah.
And like Tamlin goes fucking Super Saiyan. Like the energy just starts rippling because he wants to begging to like full wolf.
Yeah.
And it's like Skyrim wolf and he's like shooting lasers and like he fucking killed he just punches the way the Hulk punches like Loki, like a bunch like hammer punches like in through a wall.
Yeah.
And like decapitates, like she's dead. And like meanwhile, everyone's like, some people are celebrating, some people are like, yo, is this real? Like there's quite a few moments that she writes about in the book of like people legit being like, chat, is this real? Like it feels like that. So he punches her, kills her, she's dead. All the High Lords get their power back, and everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, did the revolution happen in like seconds? And meanwhile, Evanescence is still rocking in the background. Because this whole thing is very, even though this book came out in 2015, it feels very 2004.
Okay, yeah.
Like at the latest.
Got it.
It has that feel to it. There's a lot of new metal feel to it.
Love it.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, fucking Lindsay Sterling on violin.
Yeah.
This is all very heavy on that.
I love it. Okay.
And now Tamlin's like holding her dead body and she's watching this through Ryson's eyes.
Yeah.
And like one of the High Lords come over and he's like, what she did for all of us. And he like sprinkles something on her.
Yeah.
And then another one does. And another one does. And all the High Lords come over and they all like sprinkle something on her. And then magic. She comes back to life.
Okay, great.
Except now she's a High Fae herself.
Oh, wait, what?
They can't do it all the time, but now she is officially an elf or a fairy.
Like, but not even just a regular fairy.
She's noble.
Noble.
She's not only is she that, so she's like beyond white woman.
Yeah.
All right.
Got
so she's
it.
like white woman beyond. She's a Kardashian.
Yeah.
And then she's it's the stupidest thing I've ever said. So like that. So they're like the war's over, and then like they look around, and realize like all the monsters have just vanished. Like the ACOTAR is gone.
They ran away.
They all ran away. And they're like, yo, the Highburn King is going to be fucking really pissed about this. And they're like, well, whatever. Because it's also made clear that like the Highburn King was also pissed at Amaranth because she stole that power from him. But like he could have taken it back, but he was like, well, see what you do.
I'm going to see what you get.
I have plausible deniability. You know, that type of deal.
Oh, yeah.
So then she's like really sad.
Okay.
Because one, she did die. But two, she did kill 2 people.
Yep. Okay.
And she keeps being like,
she also killed 3 people. Don't forget about what's her name, Claire.
Oh yeah, no, but that's brought up repeatedly.
Okay.
That is actually brought up repeatedly throughout the whole torture months.
Yeah.
Of like she keeps like Claire's corpse is still rotting on the wall.
Ah,
While all this was happening, Claire was still rotting on the wall.
Damn, poor Claire.
Yeah, no, poor Claire indeed. Like justice for Claire. Who was the one from the Stranger Things? The one who didn't who remember in the first season?
Oh, the chick who was in the pool.
Yeah.
I forget her name.
I forget her name too, but it's that same sort of feeling for Claire,
Yeah.
where you're like, she didn't deserve shit. She just got murked out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like what a pointless life. Like
Well, pointless death.
Pointless death. No.
Okay. Anyway,
so she's like, you know, she keeps being like, I want to feel bad. Like she's like, I feel so bad about them. But she keeps trying to push that to the side of like Claire and the other 2 fairy. I keep wanting to say elves because it feels like elves. Mm-hmm. And then they spend that night in Tamlin's room and they fuck.
Okay.
They make a big deal about how they fuck.
They break some more bones.
But this time they fuck as Fae. So like she's like, I can take it better.
Whoa.
And then I wish I was joking. And then the next morning, like all the High Lords, like we're all going back to our respective high courts.
Yeah.
We all have all of our power back.
Wonderful.
She walks out and then she runs into Ryson. And Ryson's like, you know, that tattoo, because she still has the tattoo in her hand. He's like, that's still a thing.
Yeah, dude.
But he's standing out there and like she notices like he has bat wings.
Oh.
And she's like, what's up with the wings? He's like, I like to fly. He's like, nobody knows because it's been so long. He's like, I love to be in the sky. I love all this blah, blah. He's like, I'm Dracula. Like, I like to be up there. And she's like, okay. And he's like, there's a lot about me you don't really know. And she's like, okay. And then he's like, I gotta go. And like, poof, he leaves. And then Tamlin comes out, and he's like, we're gonna do something about that too. We're gonna find a way to get rid of that tattoo.
Hold on, I need to pause real quick.
Yeah.
So, mysterious, dark and dreamy guy who's really helped her survive all of this.
Who she has said repeatedly is the most beautiful man she's ever seen.
So, dark, dreamy guy, very handsome, has saved her through this.
While torturing her.
While torturing her, of course, because enemies to lovers all the way on this book.
Yeah.
He is a vampire Hades character. And then, of course, our Tamlin, he is a wolf character. And again, you've just sealed that it is Twilight.
Yes. Okay. It's his reverse Twilight.
It's just Twilight.
She's fucking the werewolf first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also forgot to mention when she was reborn as a fairy, she finally gets to see him without a mask for the first time.
Oh.
And he is exactly as beautiful as she expected Tamlin to be without the mask.
Young Brad Pitt. Got it.
Exactly. It's all that sort of feel. Tamlin's like, we'll get rid of the tattoo. We'll figure out a way. We'll figure out a way to beat this together. And then they leave.
She's like, no, maybe like, once
they
a week.
leave under the mountain.
No big deal.
They leave under the mountain, and as they're leaving, like Tamlin casts something, and like basically the entire court that was under there is destroyed. Like all the walls are there, like everything's gone forever.
Yeah.
And they return back to the spring court, and she's like, the end.
That's the end of the book?
That's the end of the book. And then the book is like, hey, if you want, here's part of part 2, and I like thumbed it. Mm-hmm. Like here's a little basically part 2 is which I'm sure there's a lot more to. She goes to the night court where he teaches her like how to read and how to use magic.
Okay.
The vampire guy, right?
Yeah.
And I guess there's more stuff there. But that was the book. Yeah, it's basically Twilight with fairies. It's Twilight. If Jane Austen wrote Twilight,
it's Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Twilight in a Jane Austen novel.
Yes.
Okay. With a little bit of horny stuff and a lot of implied stuff.
A lot of implied torture, rape, and murder.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say because now I get to be the one to vote on if I like.
Oh,
this
there you
stuff.
go.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna put it on your top 10 Mr. P's book reports?
Well, there's only one spot because you've only ever done one book.
So this is number 1.
This is the number 1 book, I guess, because it's the only one you've ever done, and I don't know that I like that I don't like its placement. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to give the book credit, but I do have a sneaking suspicion that you made this more entertaining than I probably would have found it if I read myself.
So this is what I'll say. Okay. I actually read the first 5 chapters up until they crossed the wall.
Yeah.
I thought were actually really good, and I thought were interesting.
And the Tapeworm Labyrinth.
I thought the Tapeworm Labyrinth was good.
Yeah.
I thought all of the torture that she had to deal with in the evil fairy queen's realm was overdone.
Okay.
Like, felt weird.
Yeah.
I didn't like it to an extent that like it was just very, very odd.
Okay.
And it seemed to come out. It was like a fairy, not even so much a fairy princess story, but it's literally a fairy tale. Oh my God, it's literally a fairy tale. The whole time she's at the spring court, it's very much roses and chrysanthemums and willows and floating on ponds. And then at nighttime and sometimes in like certain dark corners, there's little monsters skidding around. There's that. And then they're like, oh yeah, let's go under the mountain to the rape den. You're like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with like the turn where he had to do the great rite where he's like, I smelled you. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Like there is a level of it. Like the thing is to me is like, you can just go on literotica.com. Like there is a part of this, and I understand also the way the lore is dumped. They spend so much time not telling her anything that then when they do tell her stuff, they have to tell her so much, and it's not even like a good mystery.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like there'll be just these random lore dump chapters that happen. That being said,
also, but she doesn't listen. So if you tell her to stay inside, she's not gonna.
No, but also just like in general of like who is Amaranth, what happened during the war. All these different things, these end up being 4-page long explanations where you could have trickled it at her a little bit different and still had the we can't tell you secret curse. There's a way to do that I think could have been done better. Let me tell you the thing that shocked me about this.
Okay, tell me.
This is considered a YA novel.
Oh, really?
In some places. It has recently joined the heavily banned books list.
Okay.
Because people are using ChatGPT and then saw that it had, quote, sexual themes. And again, if I didn't know what fucking was, I would not have understood that paragraph I read you.
Yeah.
It's just that they went to bed and that they kissed. It's written very vanilla. This is very much more Fabio book cover sex than what literal teens will find on so many fucking slash websites.
Yeah.
I cannot stress how this is to an actual smut book what Cinemax was to actual porn, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. I thought it was fine. I got really annoyed at the middle of it when I realized, I want to say probably about like chapter 8, when I was like, this is Beauty and the Beast, around the time you realized it. Because I also coded it that way. Like, I was telling you that way, that it's clearly Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
There were so many things I was like, this is clearly that. When I realized yesterday when our friends were over and I was screaming at them, I'm like, it's fucking Twilight. And then our friend Chris was like, yeah, no, that's, oh my God, it makes sense. Because the people who talk about this book series talk about Twilight the same way.
Yeah.
And having been around when Twilight was at its height, you know, I'm interested to know what this generation's version of Paramore is tied to this.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Paramore is hand in hand with Twilight.
Yeah.
Because Haley Williams loved Twilight and was like, I need to be on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And worked really, really hard to be on the soundtrack, which is what built up Paramore even more. It was the smartest business move she ever made.
Yeah. By the way, this is a Paramore podcast.
They know. People should know. If they made it this deep, when I was singing Evanescence through half this fucking book.
In your head.
But no, I think...
I want to thank you for your time and effort.
Yeah.
I want to thank you as part of the people that helped put together the vote for the Patreons who voted and came up with ideas of a book to force you to read, to then tell me about. It was an exceptionally fun ride.
Your favorite part, I know what your favorite part was.
What was it?
Your absolute favorite part was walking into a room and seeing me read this book angrily.
Oh my God. Every room in our house, I would just walk in and I would find you just aggressively reading.
While blasting classical music.
Yeah,
because it's the only way I could concentrate.
Oh, like, damn it.
I put on Apple Music, I put on Sacred Sounds, which I used to listen to fall asleep. And I did fall asleep a couple times.
Yeah.
But that was during the slower parts. I will say, this author is a good author. I think that let me tell you what this book did for me.
What it do?
Because there's been times over the years where I've thought about writing my own book.
Yeah.
I've thought about it. This definitely tells me I should not be embarrassed about my thoughts.
Yeah.
Because the map is literally Great Britain. It's literally England and Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
All right? It's Britain and Ireland.
Got it.
It is clear. This is literally Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
With a Twilight spin.
Yeah.
Why pretend that when I'm writing a thing that is clearly the War of the Roses, why pretend I didn't just do that?
Yeah.
Is any imposter syndrome that anyone writing feels?
Yeah, don't.
Could be destroyed by this book.
Yeah.
This makes me feel, it's the same way I felt when I discovered that Lauren Boebert was reelected.
Yeah.
Not just elected the first time.
No, reelected.
Reelected. When that 36-year-old grandmother moron was reelected.
Yeah, and I was like, I could be anything when I grow up.
Yeah. I'm going to give this book on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
It is not my taste.
Yeah.
For people whose taste this is, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
But for not my taste, for the man that I am and the person I am.
Got it.
I would definitely, when this whole series is out as movies or like maybe they do streaming, I would probably watch the first and second. But then it would get so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And to all the people who are writing the comments, who've been writing the comments, just wait till book 2. I'm not waiting. I'm not reading it. Fuck yourself. Because so many people on Instagram was like, book 2's better. I don't care. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear how much? I read 413 some pages of these two horny teenagers.
Yep.
And by the way, he's 500 years old. And just like Twilight, he is 500 years old. They make repeatedly that he is 550 or 600 years old. And she is like
and she
maybe
is a broken girl from a broken family.
She's somewhere between 17 and 19.
Perfect.
She is like, I think they make a big deal that she's like 18 or 19. They're like, they want to at least make her be 18 so it's not weird. And like, I don't need that. If I wanted that, I can get that for free. I don't need to pay for that or even waste a library punch card on that one. All right? Not going to do it.
Well, listen, I'm going to log you into Goodreads. We're going to create you a Goodreads account, and we're going to knock down that you read one book this year. One fiction book got read this year.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. How do you feel?
I feel great. This was so fun. I liked being on this side of the book club. I appreciate all the hard work you did.
I
like how frustrated you
I have
looked
such
right
a
now.
headache because I've been talking for 2 hours straight.
I know. And I want to thank all the Patrons again for supporting our podcast and helping us bring this to fruition, this Mr. P's book club. We both really appreciate your support.
I hate all of you.
Do you want to go have some cheesecake?